Day three of the allegedly war in Iran. We're trying to understand here together what is going on there. I tell you what, this is definitely a very confusing war because I think anyone who understands military a little bit know that this war could have ended, should have ended way longer. I mean, long ago, or at least we should have been seeing more progress since the first attacks. But it seems to be, instead of really, it started like a war, but now it feels more like a skirmish, back and forth here and there. And I think it's a valid point to ask ourselves, like, where is that leading? And probably the best way to maybe understand that is to go and see what is Trump really trying to do here, because Trump is an interesting man. He's should not be taken for granted. Never. He's definitely proven more again and again that you should never underestimate him. He's definitely not an idiot. Like him or not, that's a different story. But what is he doing there? What is happening? And why is America not finishing the war? Yesterday, we had the whole issue with Apache that was downed by the Iranian drone during a ceasefire, where Iran broke the ceasefire directly and went and flew their Apache inside the cockpit. The drone, an Iranian drone, inside the cockpit of a US Apache, and the drone basically did not explode, luckily for the pilots, and in some ways, luckily for Iran, I guess. And it got stuck between the two pilots, the pilot and the gunner, and they managed to crash land it in the water, and they were rescued by an unmanned drone boat. And that was like the first time that this rescue happened. So then comes the question right now, what is the deal and what's happening with Iran? And I think everybody, like America, went and retaliated and started shooting missiles at different kind of locations in Iran. Iran, before that, even broke the ceasefire by retaliating and shooting at American bases across the region, in Jordan and other places in the Middle East. The mic is still low, guys? Was good for a second. That's really weird. Shooting at American bases across the region, in Jordan and other places in the Middle East. The mic is still low, guys? It doesn't feel low here, guys. I feel like for a second. That's really weird. But I guess if you're saying it's low, then unless you're trolling me, can anyone else give me a indication if the mic is still low? The mic is okay. It's still low. Well, let's put it up. What about now? Is it still low? It goes up and down. That's weird. It's weird. Morris, my man, thank you. So let's jump right into the water, guys, and just try to look for a second on the Truth Social of Donald Trump. And let's read it together. Based on the fact that the discussion with the Islamic Republic of Iran has been brought to the highest level of Iranian leadership and approved, highest level. I mean, we kind of took down their first highest level, the second and the third. So it's the fourth highest level right now. I have, as a president of the United States of America, canceled the scheduled strike and bombing against Iran this evening. Discussing and the final points have been in both concept and a great detail, approved by all parties involved, including the United States. Israel, I'm not so sure Israel approved of that. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Turkey, Pakistan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, Egypt. Wait, before we continue reading, I don't know if you saw what I just saw right now. Here we go. There's two democracies in this document: United States and Israel. Listen to the rest of the countries that are involved in this deal. And that would tell you all the questions, because we're trying to understand what's happening with that war. Why are they not finishing that war? Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Turkey, Pakistan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, Egypt. My goodness. Half of them are extreme Muslim Brotherhood countries. The other half are far away from being any form of democracy, and all of them are very Muslim countries who are abiding by, from extreme to almost extreme, Sharia law, which, by the way, every Sharia law is extreme when it comes to democracy in West. Every Sharia law. So no wonder that these negotiations are just really weird and nothing makes sense there. And others. I wonder who are the others. The naval blockade will remain in full force and effect until this transaction is finalized. He did this with ChatGPT. Here's a tip, guys. If you ever want to know if someone did something with ChatGPT, what you do, I've learned it the hard way. See this? If it's the long kind of line, that's usually AI, ChatGPT. If it's the short one, that's usually what you have in your keyboard. So God bless them. Whoever wrote this used ChatGPT, copy paste. Time and place of the signing to be announced shortly. Donald Jr. Trump, President of the United States of America. Well. People are staying still low. So here's the thing. I'm starting to think, is that an Iranian cyber attack on my channel? People just saying low because it gets me to stop talking? Or is it really low? Because I'm seeing the indication here and it's showing very high, and I'm hearing people saying that the audio is high, but then some people just write low. So yeah, the cardboard guy. Exactly. Star Trooper. That's it. Talking about the cardboard guy here. So here comes a question. If these are the people that are leading the negotiation, then no wonder that things are going sideways. And I explained that before. You see, Muslim countries don't have the same goal like Western countries. It's just as simple. And I'll explain it in a very simplistic way. You can safely assume that many of the goals of Switzerland, Denmark, the United States, Israel, Belgium, Germany, and Holland, and Finland, even Finland, will align. And that is usually prosperity, economy, and just, peace, and maybe tourism and all these things. Because none of these countries have the agenda to conquer one another. Well, unless it's Greenland and America, but usually to conquer one another, and none of them want a forced conversion on the others. None of them. Belgium does not wake up in the morning. I think almost no one in Belgium wakes up in the morning and thinks like, I want to go and conquer Germany and I want to force them to drink the beer that we drink. They don't happen anymore. It used to be back in the days maybe, but that's it. Modern democracies are not trying to conquer one another because they got to the point where they live very well with one another. Muslim countries, all of them, still want to conquer you and convert you to Islam. There's not a single Muslim country, except for maybe the UAE right now, not a single Muslim country on the face of this earth that will not like to conquer the planet and force conversion of Islam on everyone. Not a single one. They might pretend that they don't, but that's, it's basic Islam. So when you are bringing these players into the negotiation table, then no wonder that things are not going, that nothing is making sense. Because one day they want you to take down Iran, but then they're afraid, wait a second, if Iran collapse, the people of Iran want to get free, but they also want to get free of Islam. Ooh, that's a bit of a problem. And they go and they call the mashayikhs and the sheikhs and everyone. They sit around, listen, guys, if that happens, that's going to make Israel strong. That's going to make the Middle East more secular. That's going to make Islam weak. We can't allow that. So we need to bring a deal that keeps the Ayatollah in power. And that is exactly what's happening. Notice this. This war started in the beginning with a change of civilization, toppling that regime. And now every deal that is almost every talking point, is with leaving the Ayatollahs in power and trusting their word that they will not try to build a nuclear weapon and that they will not terrorize the Strait of Hormuz. You see how we went from like total domination, defeating enemies, into compromising on a very bad deal, which the biggest losers of that deal will be, first of all, the Iranian people, the Persian people, and then will be, the Middle East and all the countries around, and of course, Israel and America and everything, because they're not gonna stop terrorism. And that's another point. Here's another point that people don't think about. America is behaving like Israel was behaving with Iran. Sorry, America is behaving towards Iran like Israel was behaving toward Hamas 5 and 10 years ago, before October 7. They're trying to negotiate with a terrorist organization. We saw what Hamas was willing to do to his own country and his own people just so they don't give up terrorism. They use their entire nation as human shields. They sacrifice the women and their children, and they hide behind them, and they literally destroyed Gaza. The only way was to defeat Hamas was to destroy Gaza, because they were not willing to give back the hostages and to surrender and say, okay, we're going to stop terrorism. Iran is the same thing like Hamas, only bigger. The IRGC is a terrorist organization who have kidnapped a nation. Hamas have kidnapped Gaza. IRGC have kidnapped an entire nation of Iran. There's about 4 or 5 million of the IRGCs and the Ayatollahs there, and they're ruling over 90 million Iranians. And they're willing to sacrifice their entire nation just so they don't give up their fanatic jihadist ideology. We saw that they've executed about 40,000 people in 2 days. That's what the numbers are saying. You can say 2 days, 2 weeks, but 40,000 people. Do you know how much? And they didn't use smart bombs and like big explosions. They just went there and shot them. 45,000 people went and were slaughtered with machine guns and knives by this regime. Can you, and that was in such a short time, by the way. So the world goes to war, they shut their internet, they go and slaughter their own people, they turn their internet back, and all of a sudden Turkey and Saudi Arabia and others are on their side, Bahrain, and everybody's pushing America, don't finish them off. Very, very bizarre, right? Very, very weird what's happening there. Now, America agreeing to deals with them is as gullible as Israel when they were dealing with Gaza with Hamas. Now we know that there's no one to, people like myself and others knew that for a very long time, but for some reason the government was hoping that they can talk to them. There's something about the Jews that they keep forgetting all the time, in which kind of jungle they are. And that's what they need Druze to remind them, that these guys, you can't talk with them. The only way to deal with radical Islam is by defeating and destroying it. There's no other way. Defeating and destroying, and when they're on the run, keep destroying them and keep them away from you. Keep them away. Radical Islam will never be compatible with the West. So it took Israel a very long time to understand that and pay the price, and now they know no negotiation. America is still negotiating with Iran. What kind of a deal are you hoping to get? Like signing, time and place to signing to be announced shortly. I don't know. They fooled you, they've lied to you. Let's read some news. Let's read some news, guys, and see what's going. U.S. version of Iran deal exposes Tehran rift. Araghchi is backing Trump. Araghchi. Senior U.S. official says emerging deal would be dismantle Iran's nuclear program and reward Tehran only if it complies. I don't think they ever really gave up the nuclear program. I don't think they're gonna give it again. They're just gonna lie to you. It's part of the religion. So let's see how that goes. Ballistics missile Revolutionary Guard linked far accuse Aragachi of backing Trump's narrative. Okay. Senior U.S. administration official gave an extensive briefing on Friday, emerging agreement between the United States and Iran, saying Washington and Tehran had reached understanding. I hate the commercials and Ynet. They're very abusive. They don't even let you skip them.
The war with Iran, and we're going to be subject to finalization of documents, which should get done over the next few days. Probably have a signing maybe in Europe, and it's a great thing. Stock market's up 1,000 points. That means they like the deal. See, that means they like. If the market goes down, that means they don't like the deal. But it's been up. Oil's dropped. Oil will start coming down to, I think, even lower than it was before. I said I was in Iowa. It was $1.85 a gallon. And I don't know if I'm going to get there, but we're going to get pretty close. It's going to come down, and when oil comes down, everything else comes down. And most importantly, we have a deal that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, which was the whole purpose of what we had to go through to get this. So it was a big, very big thing. But
Sometimes I feel like Trump is more focused on proving that he managed to get a deal than actually a realistic deal. Because to think that they will ever give up the nuclear weapon, I mean, which la la land are you living, man? These are jihadists. These are radical Islamic jihadists. I mean, what do you think? Like, it's embarrassing that people actually even think that you can have a deal with them. You can never have a deal with them. They will just lie to you until they can destroy you. That's the definition of Hudna, by the way.
we have a signing soon, and the documents are in pretty final shape. So we'll see. We'll see. Very good. Should be done. That should be done pretty quickly. They want it every bit as much as everybody else wants it. And I think a lot of good relationships can ensue from this. I just spoke with.
I agree. We want to liberate
many
the
of the
Iranian
countries that
people.
were
No
mentioned
deal.
in the release.
I completely agree with you guys.
I just spoke to Bibi. I spoke to the head of great heads of nations: Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, and others. And we're going to be talking to Turkey. President Erdogan is great. And it's really a wonderful thing. With a lot of spirit. Pakistan was fantastic. The Prime Minister and the, I call him the
Pakistan
general.
calls for the destruction of Israel. Turkey calls for the
general. He's so
destruction of
great that
Israel. They want to
that he's
conquer
actually a
Israel.
field
Half of these
marshal,
countries are
step above.
extremely anti-Semitic.
And they're all very happy. The whole Middle East is happy.
And they love
beyond
Hitler.
The Middle East, the Strait will open as soon as we have it signed.
Yeah, I agree, guys. It's not very clear what's happening there. It sounds. I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. America is incapable of finishing wars right now, and they've lost it. They've lost it. They don't know how to finish wars anymore. And it's not because their military is not strong. Their military is as strong as it has ever been. Their soldiers are professional. It's because of their politics. They're just not willing to do what needs to be done to finish a war. And the enemies of America are watching it, and they're seeing it right now. You see, when the US Marines were sent to clear Fallujah, they send a message to the village, in Iraq and other places. They told them, listen, everybody get out of here. We're going to come and we're going to kill all the terrorists here. And then they send the message again and says, if anyone is staying here, he's going to die. And then they went in house to house, and they've killed all the military age males in that place, basically. The United States and modern armies nowadays are just not willing to do what it takes to defeat an enemy. And that's what it takes. You need to be willing to go and do the job. War is dirty. And as a humanitarian, kind of as the good side, you try to give the enemies some kind of a heads up. Hey, listen, we're going to come here. They don't give you that heads up. At least you give them. And we're going to come. We're going to kill all the enemies. Now, once you made that message clear, every male that stays there is a fair game. Fair game. By the way, including females. And when it comes to Islam, also sometimes, you know, child soldiers and etc. But it's a fair game. Get out of here. We're coming. We're going to clear it. Unless you talk that terminology, you're never going to win a war against Islam. You're never. Because they will abuse your humanitarian, you know, softness against you, and they will just not let you defeat them. And every war in history was won that way, and now they're just not willing to go to walk the talk. So I think that's a big thing. That's a big thing. Let's see. I can't imagine he really believes the deal is going. Yeah, I can't imagine as well. I agree with you guys. Rubio, DeSantis can come sooner. I like both these options. Rubio and DeSantis, I like them both. I feel like they're good options. Both of them. Let's jump on Umingle. See what's cooking there. Maybe we can find an interesting, intelligent conversation. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find that there.
والسكرة تبي شبابها. Hello, what's up?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. Are you support Israel?
Yes, I do. What about you?
Oh. I think I wish I wanna kill anybody. Palestinians, Israel, Trump, fuck all this shit.
You want to kill everyone?
Everyone in the fucking this earth.
What about your family? Do you want to kill them too?
But I like one guy.
What about your family? Do you want to kill them as well?
I don't know, maybe, but look. I like something.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Yeah. Show us.
I think it's opposite in your this flag. Do you know this?
Put it closer to the camera. I can't see it.
No, it's just this. It's
No,
good.
wait. I can't see it. I can't see it. Can you put it closer?
You see it. You see it. You see it.
Why do you like him?
You know it now.
I think you think that it bothers me that you like him, but listen, your stupidity does not bother me. But tell me, why do you like him?
I don't want to bother you. He's a legend. He wanted to kill anybody in the fucking earth. And this.
How many are you Muslim?
No.
Then what's your religion?
I lied. I'm Muslim. Yes, of course.
I know you're Muslim. بعرف انك انت مسلم. شو مفكر حالك تضحك يا بغل؟ انت مسلم صح؟
شوف الزامل. شوف.
تحكي عربي؟
شوف الزامل. نحكي
اصحى
عربي.
على دمك يا وسخ. روح نكت من هون. You know what's fun? That your country is such a failing country and you guys are so stupid that you actually love Hitler.
Yes.
And then you think that you're a religion of peace.
Can I ask you something?
No. Are you a religion of peace?
Yes.
How is Islam as a religion of peace if you love killing so much?
The Islam is not like this, but I like this. I'm a bad Muslim, you can say.
But there's a lot of Muslims like you.
But you know, and there's a lot
did Muhammad kill Jewish people and then took one Jewish girl and made her his wife?
No, that's
yes,
a lie.
He did. Sophia, you should learn your Quran.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead, ask.
انا مجرد فضول عندي. انت من وين؟ مجرد فضول فقط.
No, no, ask in English. Ask in English. We're in live video here. I want the people to understand the things that you're saying.
Where are you from?
I'm from Israel.
And why you can't speak Arabic?
I just spoke Arabic to you. You just heard that.
Why? How?
لسه حكيت معك عربي ما سمعتها.
اوكي، لماذا تتكلم باللغة العربية؟
Because I am streaming this, and this is a live podcast, and the people who are listening to us and hearing the words of wisdom coming out of your mouth do not speak Arabic.
I have a one word to that's the what? My English is so bad. Fuck all the viewers.
Yeah, no.
On. Hey, son, pain.
Egypt.
Are you from Israel?
Yes, I am.
Fuck Israel and fuck you and fuck your mother, motherfucker.
So many nice guys in Egypt.
Hey bro, what's up?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm great. I'm doing good.
That's good. That's good. What you're doing? Are you streaming right now or
Yes,
something?
I am streaming this.
You're streaming on which platform? YouTube,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yo, that's nice. That's nice, man. You're
Thanks,
a cool
man.
uncle.
What is that?
You're a cool uncle.
I'm a cool uncle. Thank
Yeah.
you, man.
Yeah. So,
Thank you.
so, you- so you're from Germany right now?
I'm living in Germany, yes. And you are
You're
in
living-
Pakistan?
Yeah, correct. I'm in Pakistan right now.
Pakistan is in the bag, right? That's
That's the slogan.
yeah, that's a famous one. That's a cool video. But I heard that Pakistan is in the bag means that Pakistan is great or something, right? Or
Yeah, Pakistan is great as well. Yeah.
yeah.
Like no, not great. It's the correct translation is Pakistan is alive.
Okay. Yeah. First time I heard it, I thought he's saying Pakistan is in the bag, like in the bag, and I was
No, it's Zindabad.
Zindabad. Okay.
Zindabad, like means alive. So, like, what's your nationality? Where are you from?
I'm
Where
an
you-
Israeli. I'm from Israel.
sorry?
Israel.
Oh, you're from Israel. That's
I'm in
good.
Israel, and I'm living in Germany right now.
You're Jim. Oh, that's cool, man.
What about
So
do people in Pakistan? What do they think about Israel, or what do you think about Israel?
Well, mostly the people, the majority of Pakistan is a, you also know, as a Muslim, so they're against Israel. But according to my point of view, because I'm a Christian, so for me, uh, Israel is a holy land. You know that. If you know about the Bible or Bible related things, then you know that
Yeah.
we can go against Israel.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you very much.
Yeah.
And I've loved the Bible. I've read it many times. I've
Mhm.
walked Israel reading the Bible.
That's good. So you're a Christian as well.
Yeah, you can say I do follow the faith of Christianity. I think it's a very natural continuation of the Bible, and I think it's a great faith.
Oh, that's cool.
But I'm a Druze. My religion is Druze.
Oh, Judaism.
Druze. It's a different religion.
It's a different religion. Okay.
Yeah.
What's their belief?
So the Druze believe that all religions are right and all religions are true, and they believe that God gave the Jews Moses, the Christians Jesus, and many different other prophets, and they all point towards the same direction, basically, which is the faith in one God. So it's like it's 1,000 years old New Age. The only thing is that Druze came to live under Islamic colonization for the last 1,000 years, so they had to hide their faith and they had to pretend to be Muslims so they don't get killed, because the Druze were not considered Ahl Kitab, the people of the book.
Yeah, I got it.
Christians and Jews. So they had to face basically the verdict of convert or die. So to maintain the religion, they had to play the game for many years. And only in Israel actually are the Druze free to really practice their faith like any other, religion in Israel? That's something cool about Israel, that it lets other religions to freely have, the freedom of faith and support it, supported by the government even.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like Muslim sheikhs and Christian priests and Jewish and Druze will get paid by the government in Israel to run their houses of prayers and etc. And they have the complete freedom for that. So it made minorities starting to feel more comfortable and safe. It's the only place I think in the Middle East that minorities are actually growing in numbers. Christians are growing in number, Druze, Cherkess, Alawites, basically everybody. While in Lebanon, in Syria, in Jordan, in Egypt, they're shrinking. Christianity is shrinking. Everything's shrinking. I don't know how it's in Pakistan, like Christians in terms of growth. Are they growing in number, or are they getting smaller?
Well, the numbers of Christian, like we are minority, and most of the people don't convert to Christianity here.
Most of Christianity is what? Sorry?
I said the people here don't convert to Christianity.
Is it illegal to convert to Christianity?
Yeah, it's legal. It's free. It's freedom for everyone. If someone wants to adopt any other religion, they can do.
So in Pakistan, a Muslim is okay to convert to Christianity. There's no laws to prevent that.
Sure, well, their religion don't question this thing, but there's still some people who criticize this.
Who criticize the conversion?
Yeah, criticize the conversion.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, sorry, I should have told you, I'm doing a stream here, so this isn't a live stream. You haven't said anything, wrong, or you spoke very smart and very respectful, but sometimes I forget to tell people.
Yeah, I didn't because our religion also teach us to spread love, not hate to other peoples and other religion as well. So if you don't mind, can you tell me your YouTube so I can check it out?
Yes, of course, man. I'll send you the link here.
Sure, but if I can't copy the link, so just okay.
I will tell you. Yes, so write MANSUR.
So how much subscribers do you have?
I have about 60-something thousand subscribers.
60,000 subscribers. Oh, that's cool.
60,000 something. Yeah, let's check.
So let me just paste it right down here.
66,269.
Oh, that's cool, man. So
Yeah.
it's your profession. You do YouTuber.
Yes, I do it now full time. Mansour
Oh,
Ashkar, and you can also find me on Instagram if you want.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Come again.
The name is Mansour Ashkar, MANSUR, and Ashkar ASHKAR.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
That's in YouTube.
Yeah, I got it. I opened the link on the other tab.
Okay. And if you want to find it on Instagram, it's gonna be Mansour with an O instead of a U.
Okay. So it's very nice to meet you, brother.
Likewise, man. What's your name, if you don't mind saying?
Well, my name is Joshua.
Joshua is a beautiful name.
Thank you, man.
It's a beautiful name, and it's a name after someone that was a very, very brave and courageous and a strong Christian, a strong believer, a strong Jew, actually.
Yeah, who stopped the time?
Yeah, made the sun stop in the sky. Yeah, that's a cool story. Hey, God bless you, man. Stay safe and keep spreading the love.
Man. Thank you. Bye.
Easy. Look at this guy. You know this guy? I don't know this guy.
Look at that. Changing cameras like
Look at this. We got a whole set of
Here, I'll show you
what
I can
doing,
do.
buddy?
Ha. You can't see it there.
Okay.
Oh, man,
no, I can't see. Only your stream sees it.
Only the people watching me on YouTube is.
Well,
I was trying to flex on the wrong guy here.
You've got at least 7 people in the Discord channel watching YouTube, bro.
Yeah, nice, man.
How was your day, man?
My day was good. Was trying to understand what's happening with Donald Trump and all these back and forth with Iran. I
Mhm.
actually, you know what? Let me tell you something nice. I watched today Baby Boss, the
Okay.
cartoon with my kid,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I
it's
know.
hilarious. It's such a funny movie. My mom did not understand a word because she doesn't speak English and she's visiting me. But me and my kid, we were just cracking up. How was your day?
Oh, just normal work. So 8:30 till 10 tonight, and I just got on stream. I've been on stream for like half an hour,
Oh,
so it's been a long day.
it's been a
But
long day.
I have to tell you, bro, there's one thing that I love about what you've changed. You're going the Casey Neistat way, the glasses and the filming. Hey, I love it. It brings me back like 10 years. And I'm not even gonna say it's like copying Casey Neistat because you look exactly like him.
Oh
And
my
it's
god.
like,
It's just because we're both ugly, man. It's just because we're both ugly you say that.
no, you're not ugly at all. Hey guys,
Where's the glasses?
guys in the chat, tell me,
You
is
know
he
what's
ugly?
funny? You know what's funny is sorry, keep going, keep going. You were saying something. I'll tell you.
No, 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 no. It's your turn, bro. Go ahead.
So
What's funny is
I never I didn't watch YouTube until a very long stage of my life. And then I went to Africa and I got lost in the well, I didn't get lost, but the tribe that found me thought I was lost in the jungle. We made good friends and I started helping them build an orphanage and a school. And I was paying it from my own pocket. And I had a friend of mine named Isa who came with me because he had a camera and I said, who want to come and help me build a school in Africa? And he was like, crazy enough to jump spontaneously and we went together. And he came in and told me, listen, if you want to reach bigger audience, people to help you, volunteers to come, maybe you should start a YouTube channel and make a vlog. And I was like, okay. And he said, yeah, you remind me of this guy. And he said Casey Neistat. Now, we were like driving motorcycles, falling from motorcycles, and just kind of wobbling around through the jungle, finding places to go, sleeping in mud houses, I don't know what. And I kind of remembered that. But then one day, like years later, I watched a video and I was like, what? Like, he think I'm like this guy? I mean, he's super cool. I like him.
no, I love his style.
I love his style. But then I thought, like, everybody's going to think right now that I'm putting sunglasses because I'm copying him. And I'm like, no. I didn't even know him when I just put the sunglasses on and was doing
But
that.
your comment section is referring to that, and I think they love it.
Ah, yeah. So I tell you why I put the sunglasses is because when I'm going and filming, and especially on the phone, I look at the phone. And then I don't have eye contact. So I start putting sunglasses. And hey, don't get me wrong. I think Casey Neistat is probably the best storyteller of our generation. He's phenomenal.
Hands down.
The way that he tells storytelling is amazing. So for me, it's a great honor that people will come and even say that. But yeah, you're probably talking about the birthday video that I made with my mom, right? Like the last one.
With your kids, yeah.
Yeah.
That you spent with your kids.
Yeah. Sometimes when I get spontaneous and I want to make a video vlog outside, I do that and then I get these comments. Which is actually, it's the kind of videos that I like more doing. Like I like much more making these kind of videos and going and arguing with people about, the Prophet Muhammad
Yeah.
and Hamas and I don't know what. But
Yeah.
right now I feel like this is important.
Do you do your own editing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're doing a fantastic job, man.
Really?
Fantastic job. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I've never learned editing. I've had to teach myself everything. Like I had to.
Well, you're on the right path, man. You're doing a great job. I love what you're doing. I to be honest, every day I watch your content. I don't know when you're live, because when I do see when you're live, it's been generally not on here. You're doing podcast style or video games.
Yeah. I wish I would have done enough video games. I think the last time I did a video game was probably the last time that you saw me live.
Arc Raiders?
Yeah.
When you do it on Arc Raiders? Yeah, okay.
But actually, I came with an idea. I want to start interviewing people in a podcast style in a game. So I want to invite like people once a month or once in a week or something to come and join me in the game, and we'll go and survive the game, and we'll have a podcast. We'll find like a spot in the game. Sorry, and we'll talk about it there. Yeah.
Drop in a lobby. Like
We'll
drop
go
in a
and
lobby
we'll
and
meet-
just
What is that?
drop in a lobby, have
Yeah.
an open mic, and just people just shoot at us for like an hour.
Yeah. We'll put some, kind of censoring minds around so no one disturb us. Sit there and talk while the arcs are coming trying to massacre us. And I need to find the right people that would like to do that, and then you can see their skill in the game as well and stuff like that. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
All right, brother. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Imagine,
You need
imagine I will
help? You
get,
can come in.
imagine I will get Casey Neistat to come
Oh
and
man, that
join
would
me
be.
in a computer
That would-
game to do a podcast.
and you would be both wearing the sunglasses. Like, which one's Casey? Which one's Mansoor?
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Well, anyway, man. Hey, have a great day.
Yep. Same
Was
to you, brother.
always
Nice stream.
pleasure bumping into
See you
you here,
soon.
man.
I love you, brother. See
Love you,
soon.
man. Bye bye. Such a cool dude. Honestly, such a cool dude.
Love the flag.
Ah, thank you, man. That's nice to hear.
No, I keep mine in a locked box
Oh wow.
because I love these boxes. It came from Iran with Magen David on it.
Wow.
So handmade in Iran, and I love it.
That's a cool thing. Are you from Iran?
No, I'm not. I'm from Egypt.
Wow. So you're from Egypt and you love Israel and you have a box from Iran with a Magen David on. That's
I'm,
that sounds like an interesting
yeah,
story.
I am an anomaly. Yes.
Yes, you, because I tell you what, a lot of time the Egyptians that I meet here, especially the young ones, they will immediately start flashing, Hitler stuff. And
You're German or you live in Germany?
I'm an Israeli, but I live in Germany.
Okay. Okay. Because yeah, I know, but there is Israeli who lives in Germany. So there is a reason for how the Egyptian. I have no idea how many times I told this story. 1950, 1940, the person who was responsible for education in Egypt was the president education advisor for propaganda about Israel. He was a German by the name of Johann von Leers. He was Joseph Goebbels' assistant.
Wow.
And he was one of the most prolific anti-Jew Nazis during the war. And the
Oh.
Egyptian, after the war, they recruited him to work as education advisor about Israel. So the information the Egyptian know about him, the guy who wrote it, can I show you something?
Please, please. That explains so much.
Okay. I read a lot of his books. My German isn't that bad, but ich habe dich gestudiert über
My
Schule,
German
aber
is like
alles
way
vergessen.
non-existent, so don't even.
Yeah, I studied in high school, but I forgot most of it. Okay, I found it. This is the book cover of his books. And
In
he
Egypt.
converted to Islam. He converted to Islam and became Egyptian propaganda ministry advisor and the president advisor about Israel. So that's where the Egyptian get their education from.
Wow. So a propaganda Nazi officer converted to Islam and became
Called himself Omar Amin and became a president advisor to the Egyptian president.
Oh my God.
From 1954 to 1965.
What a terrible thing to do to your nation, to let someone like that be
Oh
in
yeah.
charge of the
Yeah,
education.
because and they didn't update the curriculum, so we inherited it the 60s onward. So you basically had generations being brainwashed by absolute propaganda, and propaganda written and designed by a Third Reich Nazi.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Hey, by the way, I forgot to say in the beginning, I'm streaming this. I'm a
Okay.
YouTube podcast, so just so you know. And what made you? How come you grew up different? Like, how did you?
I actually didn't.
Okay.
I didn't grow up different, but when something happened to you and you remember the story vividly, that's a moment your life just isn't the same.
Yeah, I had a few of these.
Sorry, yeah, you're Israeli, so you had several of those. So I love reading, and I bought a used secondhand book in Lebanon and the second-hand book was called. Oh, sorry, I have a digital copy of it. Uh,
That's so cool.
so I have a digital copy of the book. It's called Who's in Nazi Germany.
Okay.
So, and the book is basically it's a very well-known series where they have who's in European history, who's in ancient Egypt, and so on. So I got this book and I am reading and sitting at a cafe in Hamra Street in Beirut, and I get to, can I read something to you?
Yeah, please, please.
Okay, that's from this book. Johann von Leers, one of the most prolific, vicious, literally Jew baiter in Nazi Germany. Johann von Leers was a vegetable in Marketberg. Leers came to the attention of Goebbels, and he was worked as Goebbels' assistant. And then later on, in 1945, he fled to Italy and then to Argentina, and continuing his neo-Nazi propaganda and being warmly praised by the ex-Mufti of Jerusalem, Hajj Amin al-Husseini, for having always championed the Arabs. So he went to Cairo, and I'm reading this. I said, what? He went to Cairo in mid-50, converted to Islam, calling himself Omar Amin von Leers. His enthusiastic support raising Arab and nationalism and his glorification for Hitler extermination of the Jews led to his employment in the foreign propaganda service of Colonel Nasser in
My
Egypt
goodness.
and the Arab world. Von Leers found receptive, and I'm reading this. I literally, what happened, I was sitting having a coffee. I tried to put my coffee mug on the table. I didn't. I dropped it in the ground because your reading is like, sorry, are you telling me my own education growing up, I was taught by a freaking Nazi?
Wow.
So I had that was in 95, sometime around mid 95. So I had to go back and restudy the entire history
Wow.
from, for myself, because I discovered I didn't learn history. I learned the curator narrative.
Wow.
So I tried to go on for the to primary sources, and it was fantastic because I was living in Beirut, so I had access to the AUB, the American University in Beirut Library. I had access to my college, to San Joseph. So I was going to every library anywhere, and then the internet came, and you could find a lot of information. Then they had online. They opened the CIA reading room, where they have the declassified document,
Yeah.
and I start reading about the stuff that was declassified in America but is still classified in Middle East. Then it's like, wow. So that was that. It took years, but
But it's impressive that a lot of time when people will be faced with like overwhelming facts that shatter their whole life narrative, many will shut down, many will,
yes, but the difference is, for me, that wasn't the first time.
so it was
You
a
know,
progress
no, I had my entire life shattered before.
before that.
Yeah, because I'm ex-Nasserist, I'm ex-Trotskyite,
What is that?
Leon Trotsky, the Perpetual Revolution,
Ah, okay.
far end of Marxism. I am ex-Muslim.
Wow.
I'm ex. So I had my life shattered several times. So I kind of like, not again, please, not again. So
No, but you're an explorer, man. You have exited so many trapdoors that people sometimes can
yeah,
spend all
because
their life.
it makes zero sense to hold to the idea that you actually know it's wrong. because what good is a wrong idea?
Yeah. Sometimes I try to
Eh,
challenge, let's say when I'm talking to, especially with Muslims, I find it more, but about the history and fact and just accuracy. And even when I give them overwhelming like evidence, from archived history, it doesn't matter. Like,
Oh, even I talk with some people, in whether online or in real life. They don't know any word in Arabic. They only know a few verses in the Quran. Arabic is my first language as an Egyptian, and I studied classic Arabic, and I can actually quote the Quran and Hadith from memory in Arabic.
wow.
So, and he still says, "Oh, but no, you don't understand it." Dude, I'm actually quoting my first language. You are speaking whatever Urdu or English, and you don't know a word in Arabic, but you're telling me I don't understand my own language.
Wow. You know what? I love it, Egyptian Arabic. I always call it like it's like the equivalent of English Shakespeare, you know?
Nah, I love Lebanese more.
It's well, أنا بحكي عربي عشان أنا درزي من
Uh,
إسرائيل, and
okay.
and my accent is
بتحكي
probably
بتحكي عربي على عربي درزي.
عربي لبناني وعربي سوري يعني بيطلع يعني فاهم؟
اوكي، لانه العربي الدرزي، انا عشت ببيروت 5 سنين. العربي الدرزي بلبنان بيقلقلوا القاف.
بالأق بيقولوا القاف.
يا
شو بتقول
يا
رايح شيء؟ بس أنا دائما حبيت العربي المصري. عايز إيه؟ رايح فين؟ إزيك؟
Yes, because it's the only Arabic. Because what happened to the Egyptian, they did that with several language. They took the vocabulary of Arabic and they used Egyptian grammar.
امم
Because in Arabic, how do you ask someone for his name in Arabic?
شو اسمك؟
Okay, how you ask an Egyptian?
كيف اسمك؟ اسمك إيه؟
No, اسمك ايه. We
اسمك
put
إيه؟
the questions at the end of the.
Yes.
You start with the question. شو اسمك? The Egyptian اسمك ايه.
اسمك إيه؟ عايز إيه؟
وين رايح؟ Yeah, وين رايح؟ رايح فين?
رايح فين؟
So this syntax is not. It's not Arabic syntax. That's Egyptian.
Yeah,
They adopted this, or they inherited this from the pharaohs.
that's insane, man.
Plus a lot of words we still use. That's not Arabic. It's Pharaonic words.
Oh, wow.
We still use like thousands of them.
Which other pharaonic words like do you use that are?
Most of the word we use actually, which was very interesting. Plus the religious one for the Coptic Church, the one with the child upbringing, like for kids, kuch, if a child trying to pick something that's dirty, you say kuch.
Huh.
That's not Arabic. That's Egyptian.
كخ. لا
If you,
بنقولهاش. Yeah, we don't say كخ.
yeah, no, yeah, it's Pharaonic word. If you're trying to ask them to walk, to take a step, it's tata. That's not Arabic either. If they want to drink, that's imbu.
Imboom.
That's imbu.
Okay.
Imbu, because that's not Arabic. That's Pharaonic word.
Beautiful, man. That's so cool.
So we still, and we use the words in every day. Without, a lot of Egyptians don't know those words they're using. Yeah, we've been speaking those words for the last 7,000 years.
That is cool. Hey, can I ask you a question? What made you then, let's say, exit Islam? Because you seem like someone who refused to be boxed just because you were born into something. You went few exits in your life.
Because whenever you follow an idea to its logical conclusion, and the logical conclusion itself is incoherent, it contradicts its premises, there is no other option rationally than to exit. So the same thing with with Nasserism, the same thing with the Trotsky. Because if you're going to go for the perpetual revolution, okay, and then the people who take over, the other people will become the new proletariat, and the revolution will continue. So you mean the entire goal is we're going to keep killing each other for eternity? That's your proposal? And and then economically it doesn't work, because the first thing you have to do is you have to strip people of their freedom, and so on. So a system like that you have to exit. Then Islam, you find that is the same problem you have with the Arab-Israeli conflict, wars. You have a curated version. What most of what people know about Muslims know about Islam is actually selective history, not true.
Please explain.
The actual, give me explain. The day Muhammad died, before they buried him, they were in the courtyard of one of his companion. Fighting is over. Who's going to take over?
Mm-hmm.
Within 25 years of his death or less, there was 2 wars between his wife and his cousin. She had his wife told the Muslims, actually she waged the Muslim to get the Uthman killed, and that's in their history books. And then you had within 15 years of his death, a Muslim army invade Medina and mass kill and mass rape his companion, to the extent Muslim historian, he says, after that there were 1,000 child born without known fathers.
Oof.
Those were
Wow.
those were Muslim women of Muhammad companion raped by Muslim army.
Wow.
And then that's the first 25 years. And then by the end of that, within 50 years, he has his grandson butchered, chop his head off, Hussein, and take it from Iraq to Syria to Egypt, and so and then you're telling us this is supposedly the best generation. That's the best.
This is what you should aspire to become.
Yeah, because those, you have one of them, the son of Abu Bakr, the first caliph. By the time of the fourth caliph, the fifth Muawiyah, they killed him. They put his dead body inside a donkey, and they burned the corpse of the donkey while he's in it. It's like,
Muslims
so.
did that.
Yes, Muslim did that. It's a level of the level of vindictiveness. You see it from Mexican cartel.
Oh wow.
But that's radiallahu anhum. I'm sorry, if Allah rada an hadol.
No, I know that meaning. Yeah, it's
Yeah, but and then you get, by the time you get the Abbasi came to rule, the inauguration of the first Abbasi caliph, Abu al-Abbas al-Saffah. He digs the corpses of the Umayyad out of their graves in Damascus, whip the corpse and burn them. You get a dead body, a corpse out of the grave, to whip it and burn it.
my God.
And then he get the living ones, club them to death. They didn't die, so he put he put leather over their bodies, and put his food on and start eating over the dying bodies. And when he finishes, oh, this is the most delicious meal I had in my life. It's like, so, and you go on, that's the history. Then
And
you
that's
go
the
for
role models. That's the role models that many of them.
those are the role models. Then you go for the text itself. You will talk to Muslims. They said, "Oh, we have the Quran as it was when the time of Muhammad,"
Yeah.
which is actually it's a sales pitch, as reliable as a second-hand car salesman trying to sell you a car. But the actual history is, do you read Arabic?
Slowly. I mean, I'm not as I don't read books anymore in
Okay.
Arabic. I read in
No,
Hebrew and English more. So
Yeah, it's a few words. This is a book written by a Muslim called Kitab al-Masahif.
صح.
Okay, and the chapter title, باب ما كتب الحجاج بن يوسف في المصحف.
صح.
So that's al-Hajjaj, a tyrant of Iraq. He got 11 verses of the Quran. He didn't like them grammatically, so changed them. Okay, what else? Who else changed? There was one by the 3rd century. There was one, they call him the chief reciter, Ibn Shinbud. So he had the odd reading, not like the majority of Muslims. So what they did, they arrested the guy, beat him up until he signed a recant his reading and say I was wrong. So what you have is not a unified text. What you have is a police brutality and evidence manipulation.
Yeah.
because you only have one text because the state was successful to suppress any other reading, which we don't know where they are.
Oof, my God. Yeah, that's I didn't know these things
So,
that you said. That's
no,
crazy.
this is just the tip of the iceberg, you know. So when you go through this at the end of the day, you said, okay, you know what, guys, I'm done. So
Because
I'm
you
really done.
choose, yeah, you use your brain. So here is what I usually kind of try to understand with them, and I come and I challenge them, and it says, so you believe that the Quran came after, the Old Testament, the New Testament, right? It was like
Hmm.
inspired by it, the continuation of it. Then
Hmm.
you also believe, or they believe that Muhammad, the prophet, was mentioned in the Bible and in the Old Testament, New Testament. And they say, yes,
Yeah,
he was.
yeah.
And then I tell them, but
He,
no, but we
he,
have evidence that show that he wasn't. Like, we have the original text. We have it before the Quran.
actually, there are two problems with the claim he's mentioned in the Bible
Yeah,
for Muslim, and because one, in order, let's suppose he's mentioned by name, okay.
which
So
he
according
isn't,
to,
but yeah.
now, I know he isn't, but let's suppose he is. So if you want me to believe that prophecy about him in the Bible, you have to make me believe the Bible first.
Okay, fair enough.
Because, imagine you're getting a witness at the court and the prosecutor kept saying, he's lying, he's lying, he's lying, he's lying, he's lying. And then he says, oh, but believe him. I'm sorry. If you believe that book is corrupted, you cannot appeal to it in anything. So it's out of the picture.
Hmm.
So you're stuck on your own. The other problem I have with the whole idea of corruption, you know how many book, according to Islam, how many book was given to messengers? According to Islam, there are 315. There is 124,000 prophets and 315 messenger. They came with books.
Okay.
So leave the Quran. Before the Quran, there are 314. Imagine you are going to a doctor, and the doctor is telling you, I did this operation and 315 patients before you. Don't worry about it. And naturally, you're going to ask the doctor, how did it go? He said, oh, every one of them died. How long are you going to stay in that clinic?
You're going to run out immediately, jump out of the
Because
window.
you're telling me your Allah has sent the 314 book before, and he failed. His success rate is 0. But now you're going to believe he'll protect that? On what? By what evidence? He failed in every single time. Oh, because he said in it he's going to protect it. Could you prove to me specifically that verse is protected? You know, and
It's
it's just
no,
because
that's I understand that point, but my point is still, just basic of basics. Like, if you come and say, yes, I am the seal of the prophets, and God gave the faith to the Jews first, and they kept it to themselves, and then he was angry with them, left them in the desert, and then he gave the faith to the Christians. They did a great job spreading it, but they taught false teaching of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, so God got angry with them, and then he gave it to us, the Muslims, and Muhammad is the seal of the prophets, and even he was mentioned, all of them talked about him, that he's going to be the last one, and they mentioned his name. So I come and say, okay, show me the name. Where is it mentioned? In the
oh,
Quran, it says,
you removed it.
yeah. So in the Quran, it says, no, that's not valid, guys. The Quran was written. Show me the name in the original. They removed it. Then I says,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
we have
and
the original text.
the funniest part for me is not what they removed. It's what the Quran allegedly says is in the Torah. There are two section in the Quran. One says, Muslim love to use this one. Whoever kills one person as if he killed the whole humanity. They love
Yeah.
using that one. But the Quran says, وَكَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ فِيهَا. We wrote to the children of Israel in the Torah, whoever killed. The problem is that verse is not in the Torah, it's in the Talmud. He's quoting the Talmud and says that's the Torah. The other thing, he quoting a alleged miracle about Jesus talking as a baby, which is not in the gospel, but it's in a Gnostic writing in Najah Hammadi in Egypt.
Yeah.
So he mixed the story of folklore, Roman mythology, the Talmud, and put all of them together. And then when they didn't find it, oh, you changed it. The problem is, even if the bigger problem, it's we have the copies before Islam. They exist in
Yeah,
both the in the Old and the New Testament, the Torah and the Gospel. They
yeah,
exist. So, which means they existed at the time of Muhammad.
yeah,
And the Quran says his job is to keep them. So he failed. That was his
yeah.
job.
That's what I mean. Like, if you revere yourself as an intelligent person who's a critical thinker, free thinker, then you can't believe that's faith.
Yeah, that is like
It's
because
a made up faith that was made up by a few warlords in the desert that wanted to have sex with many women and take their stuff and build an army and go kill people
oh,
and take their stuff.
it's one of his promotion claim to an old guy, and he said اغزوا تغنموا بنات الأصفر. اغزوا raid
Yeah.
تغنموا بنات الأصفر. Raid so you can loot the blonde women.
Where is that said?
That was an hadith. The Quran talks about it when it says
Really?
when it says ذَنِّي وَلَا تَفْتِنِّي. Where's the
So
tafsir of
there was like a
surah?
hadith commandment that was already commanding them to go and raid European blonde girls and rape them?
They still do.
Yeah, they still follow that. We know that. By the way, someone in my crowd is saying, imagine Al Jazeera gave this man his own talk show.
I wouldn't have it. Okay,
No, you should.
it's the commentary in the Quran, Surah 9, verse 49. So that the story behind that verse is Muhammad going to a guy who says, "Okay, come with me to the war, and you will get those blonde women." And the guy says, "Please excuse me, and don't entice me with these stories."
Well, they still follow that until today. Many of them.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was in Surah 9, verse 49.
The commentary on it, the hadith is it's in during Ghazwat Tabuk. Of course, now they're going to say, "Oh, that's not correct." Just in the tafsir, عن مجاهد إذن لي ولا تفتني قال الرسول اغزوا تبوك تغنموا بنات الأصفر ونساء الروم. Raid Tabuk, you will loot or you will capture the blonde women and the Romans.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
saw
like
that.
so
Blonde
you're
women.
not you're not okay, the guy was consistent, so he knew what he were invading the other countries.
He knew what he wanted. Yeah. It's obsessed with taking women and taking little girls. It's
You know, have you ever read the Quran?
yes, I've read it.
Okay. You know, did you ever imagine what actually the paradise he's describing looks like?
Um I
It's the Lebanese mountains,
hmm.
because what he has for a Bedouin, desert and food is scarce and water is scarce. So it's rivers, it's wine, women, trees, green. So you're
Lebanese
describing
or European, yeah.
yeah. So you're describing you know, an area for an Arab that's a paradise. If I live in I lived in Lebanon for a few years. You're describing the backyard. Because you know جنات ونخيل وأعناب. Yeah, that's the backyard.
El
So
Hakura. When I go to my
yeah,
Hakura.
yeah, because you describe you know, we had friends of ours lived in Jabal al-Shuf and in Zahle. When we go, they had cherry farms. So you go and walk there, and there's the water falls. You said, yeah, that looks like the paradise in Quran, and what they're doing is eat, drink, and have sex for eternity. It's like
Yeah,
you know.
it was an obsession. And that's what I think it was. Like the people there figure out, okay, listen, I have a startup idea, pitch idea. Let's create a religion. Let's steal some ideas from Judaism and Christianity, bring people under it, and then we can go and kill as many men that we want, take their women, and take their money, and then when we run out of money, we go kill other men and take their women. And you can also take young women, and you can rape them as well. And and it was making rules on the go, like as he goes.
It
He
was
was
ad hoc.
challenged every time with like a moral idea, and he goes and he makes up a rule.
My personal view on the whole story is a little different, because I believe that's the character Muhammad is amalgamation of several character, not one person, and that was invented like 100 years later and imposed on, because the character of the Arab throughout history, no one was interested to rule this area because there was nothing in there. People didn't know the oil back then. And they were rebel, unruly, they fighting and raiding each other. Any unification would have to come to them, not from a tribe, but come by a divine decree. For someone says, the gods sent me.
Mm-hmm.
So he can unify all of them under a God. And if any philologist would read the Quran, there is no way that within 23 years, those two texts of Mecca and Medina came from the same person. The words are different, the syntax is different, the vocabulary is different, the idea is different. Like in the first 10 years.
Well, we do know that Muhammad did not write it. Like he was described as a illiterate.
I did it. Yeah, that's actually not correct. To start with, that's not correct.
Please explain.
Because okay, the word they use as illiterate is in Arabic is ummi.
Okay.
And the word is used to describe the Arab as ummiyin. The word ummiyin basically mean goyim.
Okay.
Ummi mean a goy, means
Yeah,
a goy.
yeah.
He's because the Quran says وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا مِنْهُمْ. He sent to the goyim a prophet from them. So that claim he mean he's not a Jew.
So
he's not. So he's a Gentile, was sent to the Gentile. But even if I give them that he is illiterate, so what?
no,
One of the greatest Arabic philosopher of all time was illiterate. Abu al-Ala al-Ma'arri. Al-Ma'arri was illiterate because
no, I'm not saying that if you're illiterate it means that you're stupid.
Because he became blind at the age of 6.
Okay.
So
no, my point is
Homer was illiterate because he was blind.
Okay.
So just like
my point is this: if someone wrote this religion 100 years later on in order to establish some political power, they did a very bad job.
Did they?
Well, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it is fast expanding. It is.
No, the expansion. A lot of people actually look at the expansion when it happens, which is, and I believe that's historical mistake. You need to know why it expanded that fast. You have to look 160 years before.
Explain.
Because in 540 there was a plague hit the world called the Justinian plague. It wiped out about 25% of humanity at the time. It took out 40% of Constantinople within 2 years. So, and it kept coming in waves for a couple of 100 years. And by the time the Arab were insulated from the plague because it traveled through rats to coastal city. So by the time the Sassanid and the Byzantine Empire exhausted each other in wars, lost about 25 to 30% of their population, when Islam started going to invade those empires, the cities, the southern city, were ghost cities. And because the plague wiped out 25% of your farmer, taxpayers, soldier, so the Roman and the Sassanid, they didn't pay the two Arab tribes they were protecting the southern border.
Yeah.
So those two Arab tribes, the Ghasasna and Manadira, they joined the Islamic army. So the shield you used to protect your southern border became a sword because they were mercenary. They would join anybody for looting. And at the same time, the Roman Empire had the German attacking from the north. northern the empire. So they withdraw their armies from northern Africa to protect their northern borders, and they abandoned North Africa. When
Oh
the
my
Arabs came
God.
to Egypt, they came with about 4,500 soldiers, because the Roman left, because they had a problem. Heracles had a problem in the north, and the invasion was, you had a young Bedouin healthy army facing a local militia that hasn't had upgrade in their weapon and hasn't seen their money for years, because you had over 160 years of waves and waves and waves and waves of plagues. And we have the
Wow.
document about it during the 550 to 560. The number, we said there were about 10,000 dead daily in Constantinople.
Wow. Listen.
So, the Islam didn't invade armies; it walked into cities that was absolutely devastated. Just right before they invaded Iran, you had one of the waves of the plague take out the king and the entire royal family, and within 4 years, you had 10 claims to the throne. So when Islam came, it's like, who's in charge here? Nobody knew who was in charge in Persia to start with,
Wow.
because of the plague, the Ta'un Kisra, it was called, because they were dropping like flies.
My goodness. Hey, someone in my audience here, Neil Flaming, is asking if I can ask you if you are a university teacher or giving lectures.
No, I'm not university teacher. I'm just a nerd who like to read. I write articles and I write stuff. I do lecture sometimes, but I'm not university teacher, because for two reasons. One, they would fire me pretty soon, because the common narrative in most university today, I completely disagree with, completely,
I
especially in
agree with
Europe and
you.
America. Now it's like, imagine if I'm teaching history today and I has to teach post-colonial study. For crying out loud, I'm from Egypt. My own country was Arabized. My own language was eradicated. My own people were turned into second-class minority in their own country. And a bunch of Europeans tell me you're Arabs. No, I'm not. That, so the whole idea where we're studying post-colonialism as if it's European, ignoring the fact that is in the 18th century, the Ottoman was already at the gates of Vienna, ignoring the fact that Algerian were going to Iceland, kidnap people and take them back to Algeria and sell them into slavery.
Hey, listen, man.
They're going to Ireland and emptying entire villages and selling them to slavery. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so yeah, I will be fired pretty quick.
I'm pretty sure you would, unfortunately. I have people in my crowd here saying that they would register to your university. If you open a YouTube channel, they will subscribe immediately. I will subscribe. If you open a YouTube channel, I will subscribe to that
I
immediately.
I don't. I actually just did that in the last month or so. I discovered those apps where you run into random people and you talk to them, which
Me
is
too. I think 2 months ago I discovered this. I'm still
yeah.
new here.
I discovered it a month ago and it was quite hilarious. The first day I used the app, I ran into Yusuf Cohen.
Oh, Yosef Cohen. What a nice guy.
It's like, I looked at him and said, I know you. I've seen you before. And then, of course, he assumed I'm one of the Egyptian he meets.
Yeah.
Turned out I'm not. Then I discovered this one 3 days ago. And the first person I ran into in here was Nick Matau.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh, do you have a channel? I said, no, I don't. I don't do content. I said,
Oh, you
oh,
should, man.
maybe you can talk sometimes. I said, yeah, sure. I give him my account. I said, follow me on X, and if you want to talk, just
I want to follow you next. Can you give me your account? Because I want to definitely stay in touch with you.
sure.
I wanted to ask you for that also. You're
That's
fascinating.
that's the only social media I use, because for one reason, it's easier to ignore it. because sometimes I just give up. I'm ignoring everybody for a day or two.
Is a pen name of an anonymous author or critic of Islam.
No, that is the difference. Is he's Ibn Warraq.
Ibn
He's a
Warraq,
Pakistani
yeah.
American. I am Ibn al Warraq. There is a definite article in my name, and my only excuse is I've been using this as my handle since 2000, long before I read any books by him.
Oh wow.
So it just goes, and you know, historically I have more of a claim to the pen name than he does. Ibn al-Warraq means the son of the paper maker,
Yes.
and we invented papyrus. So as the descendant of the inventor of the papyrus, I'm claiming the name.
I like that. So you're not Salam ibn Warraq, right? There's a
No, I'm Salam. That's my name.
okay, so maybe that's your account.
That's my account. And yes, the guy who's leaning over a picture of.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
no. That picture, you would love it. It was in Menachem Begin Museum in Jerusalem, and
Really?
that's the Egypt-Israel peace treaty.
Oh wow. So
So that's why I have it there.
that's an interesting. So you've been to Israel. You got to be there.
I've been there once, and every single person assumed I'm Yemeni.
I can see
It's
why,
like,
man. Easy, easy,
it's a,
easy.
it's a,
I will easy say you're a Yemenian as well.
I go on, and you know, lo mabin Ivrit. Is that you're speaking fine? I said, no, that's the only thing I know. I said, you're Yemeni. I said, no, I'm not Yemeni. I'm Egyptian. So,
It's funny
but
because the Yemenis are the only the Yemeni Jews are the only ones that speak proper Hebrew, because they say
I studied ancient Hebrew.
Oh wow.
But like 25 years ago, I got a degree in theology, so I had to do Greek and Hebrew, but I've never used it. I can read dictionaries and I can check words, but speaking, no. So whenever I pronounce a word, people look at me as you look like someone who just came out of the grave, because I'm speaking ancient Hebrew.
Yes, yes.
Because you know, there is certain verses in the Torah when you quote them a lot in Hebrew, you remember them in Hebrew.
Yeah, someone in my audience here is saying Magiwar Luffy says, yeah, he looks like half of my family. I'm guessing he's from Yemen.
Yeah, it's like I got the South in me, Yemeni, Egyptian. We're you know close, and we're both not Arabs.
I have a question for you actually, since you know
Sure,
you seem to know Islam way more than the average person. I will give you that.
way more than the vast majority of Muslims.
100%.
No,
So
that's because to actually know Islam, you need to be able to check its original sources in classic Arabic,
mhm,
which means anyone who doesn't speak Arabic as a first language is excluded from the ability to check the source in the first place.
I agree with you.
And for those who can, classic Arabic, you speak a little bit Lebanese. Classic Arabic is a second language to Arab.
Yeah.
It's not so like when you read Arabic, بنات اللبون وبنات المخاض والجذع والحقة. What you have to actually check what dictionary what's talking about. So the number of people who can check the classic sources globally are not going to exceed 60 million.
Wow.
That is less than 3%. Not that the one who do, the one who can. So the one who actually do is far less than that. So yeah, I do know it more.
Talk
And
about the
because I'm a
potential of
nerd, I like to
ignorance.
read. Anyway, sorry I interrupted. Your question is?
So my question is, when Islam started, you know, the Arabs, the Bedouins, used to go and walk around 360 statues in the desert. And then comes the claim, correct me if I got this wrong. And then comes the claim that when Muhammad came, it was very convenient just to destroy some statues, but there was one statue of a goddess named Elah, which is very close to the word Allah, so it was very convenient to get the people to kind of believe in this God Allah. What can you tell us about that?
Okay, you're not fully accurate
I
because
figured that
uh,
out.
yeah, in Arabia, each tribe had its own idol or its own shrine, and you had the Khulsa, Ka'bat Hawdan. So there were several Kaabas around Arabia. There were several shrines around Arabia. Some of the shrines, which that's my personal belief, are meteor stones, because for a Bedouin and any stone coming from the sky, you know how it looks like. It's coming in flames and fire and bright. So that's coming from the house of the gods.
Hmm.
Because the way that meteor would fall, it would be fascinating to a Bedouin. So there was a lot of shrines built for that. One of the shrines, one of the idol they worship was called Allah. You know what Muhammad is name? Muhammad ibn
Ibn Allah,
Abdullah.
Ibn
Ibn
Abdullah.
Abdullah. So, which means the name Abdullah was already used before he was born.
Yeah, the servant of God,
Uh,
of Allah.
yeah. So that was one of them, and in some in some dialect, it was referred to as the moon god, as in another dialect. The problem when you had the people who codified the Arabic language, they were not Arabs. So Arabic, between my first few months in Lebanon, I really had a fight with someone at the cafe, because every single time I go to a coffee shop, I ask for asir laymoun, they give me orange. And the first time I just ignored it, and it happened again and again. Then I tell the guy, I'm sorry, I asked it for asir laymoun, lemon juice. He said, that's it. I said, no, that's orange. And he just looked at me, you're Egyptian. He said, because in Lebanon, laymoun is hamid.
Hamid, ah.
Or lemon. In Egypt, and orange is called lemon. In Egypt, laymoun is lemon. So it's the same word we're using. We mean two different things. So when the non-Arabs got together Arabic language, they mixed a lot of vocabulary and a lot of grammar. They just made it, and they thought this is one language. But the Nabatean Arabic and the Northern Arabic and the Hijazi, they were not similar. They were not even the same. But there were, according to Muslim sources, there is a book called Al-Asnam Ibn al-Kalbi. There were more than 350 or 360. The number we just said it was 360. The fascinating thing is how the Arabs says, how Islam said they arrived to Kaaba. They say there is a guy called Khalid ibn Sinan al-Absi. He got them from the time of Noah. The people were worshiping idols before Noah, and he saw those when he was in the Levant, and they say, where you got that from? So they told him, and he said, oh, can I have some with me? The question is, if they were before Noah, how did they survive the flood?
Yeah.
And how he did no information about them? But that's the story behind them. The Arabs didn't use them like most of the people in the region. They used them as intermediary. They didn't believe those idols were gods. They believe they are, like they are intermediate. Oh, no, no, no. We ask Allah through them.
Like
So
walkie-talkies to the
Muhammad,
gods.
yeah, Muhammad destroyed all of them with the exception of the black stone. And when he entered Mecca, there was another exception. He said, wipe out all the picture, and he put his hand on a picture inside the Kaaba and said, except this one. And it was that one with Jesus and Mary. So keep that one. But that was it. But the problem is, all of this is a guesswork, because the recorded history is at least over a couple of 100 years after Muhammad. And before that, it's oral tradition. And we don't have anything left from pre-Islamic Arabia in writing other than the poem, al-Mu'allaqat.
Mm-hmm.
So you're and because Islam describes everything before Islam as jahiliyyah, ignorance. So I would have to take its description to anything with a pinch of salt.
That's funny that they call that when we have Greek, scriptures and Roman scriptures and Hebrew.
Oh, we have some fascinating the Arabic poem Mu'allaqat. It's still today in Arabic are the epic of Arabic language.
Yeah, they're more advanced than some of the Quran stories.
Yeah, and except one of them I really don't like, Amr ibn Kulthum. I don't like the mentality of it because it's you know, it's in the beginning of it, the description of the Arab, the Arab mind. Again, as Israeli, you would appreciate it. He started it أبا هند فلا تعجل علينا وانظرنا نخبرك اليقين, and then بأن نور and then he goes on ونشرب إن وردنا الماء صفوا ويشرب غيرنا كدرا وطينا. When we go to the water well, we drink pure water, clear water, and we muddy the water for everybody comes after us. It's like, why? You know, you got your clean water. How about leave the place as good as you found it for everybody else? Is like, nope, we'll drink the clean water and we'll make it dirty for everybody else. It's the destruction of that. So that's kind of mentality. So that mu'allaqat, I really don't like.
We can see that mentality right now in many Muslim places around,
Oh yeah, because I will take you know, it's the exact opposite of the kun alam.
Yeah, wow. It's exact
Because
opposite.
yeah, because you're trying to make the place better than you found it.
Yeah.
He's trying no, I'm gonna take the cream de la cream and I'll mess it up for everybody else.
Which is what they're doing to Europe, let's be honest.
Yeah, I know, one of the reason I don't like London.
It's, they're coming to Europe, they're running away from broken countries, and they're not coming to make these countries any better.
But here's the question, they never ask why those countries are broken. Because who broke them? Because you do remember Lebanon in the 60s.
It was Christian.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Even when I was there in the 90s, it was still good. Now or Egypt in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Like last time I was in Israel, I went to the Museum of the Jewish People. It's in the Hebrew University in Tel Aviv.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, they had all the artists from across Europe, the musician, and then I went to the curator. I said, I'm sorry, can I ask something? I said, where is the brother Frankel? I said, who? Brother Frankel are Egyptian Jew animator. They were the Walt Disney of Egypt. They introduced Disney style animation into 1930 in Egypt.
Wow.
And they were really good. Of course, the Egyptian kicked them out, or they went to France, but they had nothing about them. I said, yes, but you know, you're ignoring the Egyptian Jews because we had the brother Frankel to start with. We had Yusuf Qattawi, who co-authored or advised in authoring the Egyptian Constitution in 1923. We had Tugu Mizrahi, one of the most amazing Egyptian movie producer that made the Egyptian cinema is known globally.
Yeah.
It's like you're ignoring some of because Egyptian the guy who founded the person who founded the National Bank of Egypt was Egyptian Jew. He founded the sugar company, the National Sugar Company, the National Insurance Company. Look him up. Yusuf Aslan Qattawi, Yusuf Basha Qattawi was, but they said, "Oh, we'll look into it." So next time I go, I'll go and check. I'll see if they put him there.
I hope that they did, man. I hope that they did. That's a good.
They have one. His. They have important of him. They made a national medal in Egypt by his name.
Huh. Wow, man, what a surprise to bump into you. I was sure you're gonna be.
This is the medal. That is Qattawi, Joseph Qattawi Pasha. He was an Egyptian Jew. He founded the National Bank of Egypt along with another Egyptian Jew, Joseph Shikurel. and the national insurance company, and he did a lot. And then I go to the museum, they have nothing about him.
Hey, listen, man. I have a final question I want to ask you. I mean, I took a lot of your time, and I'm so lucky to bump into you because I was sure you're gonna be honestly 99% of the Egyptians that I met here in Umingo
Are jerks, yes.
jerks. They
I know.
curse, they swear, they threaten, and
Yeah. When I see an Egyptian, I push it and skip. It's
I
like
know it's like
I'm,
I usually just wait to see when they're gonna bring out the Nazi stuff, and then I just move on. But
I did bring up the Nazi stuff.
no, you did, but you did it in a much more educated way, you know.
I know.
So here is a question I have for you. Do you think Islam can or will anytime soon become compatible with Western civilization?
I always repeat the exact same sentence. Muslim can, Islam can't. Why? Okay, the easiest country to do this with is America, because in America it's actually the visual of it. Ever been to America?
Yeah, many times.
Have you been to the National Archive?
No, not yet.
You go to the National Archive in DC, they have the three prized possession, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and the Constitution. And on the top of the US Constitution, you can see the picture of it online. They have these three bold words, three words, we the people. The entire foundation and the epic of Western political philosophy is those three words. We, the people, are the source of government. We are the source of law. We are whatever political party and government rest on the will of the people.
Mm-hmm.
In Islam, that's blasphemy. People have no right to make laws. So the proudest thing the Western political philosophy has produced, Islam considered a crime. So you cannot, you said, no, you, the people, have no right to make laws. Only
It's
Allah does.
fundamental. It's fundamental.
Yeah. So you're not disagreeing over how to get somewhere. You're disagreeing over the basic foundation of the society.
Yeah.
You know, what right people have, according to us, people have the right to consent to the government, to rule themselves, to make law and change law. Those are not right people have. That's blasphemy. So we, the people, the US Constitution, according to Islam, that's a confession, a confession of a capital crime. So how you can, but Muslim can actually coexist with that, because the only way one of those two systems must give way. The country where you are now is one of the very few country, I think it's one of two I know of, where it's protected, because you have I believe it's article either 47 or 77 in German basic law. It's called the eternity clause, where if anybody would challenge the foundation of the state, they lose their right. They're, you know, in order to protect against 1930 vote, so they made the law, you cannot have another Hitler in Germany. That's not going to happen. So it cannot, that basic law cannot be changed by majority, by any. So I do believe we got to a point where a lot of countries need to have some sort of eternity clause, because democracy, American founding father hated democracy, because democracy in the sense each person, one vote, because one person, one vote, that automatically lead to the tyranny of the majority. But the way they design it is like, no, you never get the majority to trample over the minority. That's why in America, in the Senate, you have every state has two senators. Whether the state is like Maine with 500,000 citizens, or like California with 30 million, you both get two senators.
Yeah.
Because we want every single state to have equal voting rights when it comes to the Senate. because the founding father of America recognized the idea that if you leave democracy to the people, you will get the exact same question Socrates asked. What is the democratic choice? Is it the choice that preserves democracy or the choice that democracy requires? If it's the choice that democracy requires, you get Hamas. They were voted in. If it's the choice that preserves democracy, then if even people voted to someone like Hamas said, nope, sorry, not going to happen. Why? Because those people are going to destroy democracy. Though I cannot actually run a country. So can Islam coexist with others? I don't think so. It actually, the bigger problem is, can Islam coexist with itself? Because, for the last 1400 years, Sunni and Shia have been killing each other for 1300
The
years.
victims of Islam are actually Islam. Yeah.
Yeah, they started already, his wife and his cousin, at war with each other. The famous Arab hero Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi burned 50,000 Egyptian alive in Egypt.
Yeah, no, there were mass murderers. There were.
Oh yeah, and I always say this: if you read, and the problem is, all history, European history, is not any better. The problem is people think that was the golden age.
Yeah.
Like during the Abbasi golden age, you had the Zinj rebellion in Baghdad, where tens of thousands of East African slaves were worked literally to death. And it took 14 years with the brutality of it. But hey, we pretend it's not there because they were translating Aristotle and Plato. Because
No.
that was the golden age.
So it seems to me that Islam then is just fundamentally incompatible with Western values, and the moment that Islam becomes
fundamentally incompatible with humanity.
With humanity, and wow.
Because by the way, let's treat every single religion as a philosophy.
Can you move your camera a little bit so you're in the center?
Oh, sorry.
No, okay.
Sorry. Treat every single religion as a philosophy. So each philosophy has its foundation and has its consequences.
Yeah.
So in Islam, you do have ontological hierarchy between people.
Yeah.
People are not equal.
That's true.
Based on their ideological or gender position. So if you start with the foundation, the basic foundation is, sorry, we don't have anything called equality between people. Okay. As a result, we don't have legal equality either. The same crime committed by two different people will be treated differently based on their faith.
That's right.
A Muslim and a Christian and a Jew commit the same crime, they will be treated differently.
A woman and a man commit the same crime, treated differently.
And that will eventually lead the whole society will implode. It will eat each other. And historically, we have seen the history, because what happens is, you get someone throughout history says, oh, my Islam is better than yours. I am the real Muslim, you're not. Okay, what happened? You had the Abbasi and the Amawi killing each other. You had the Fatimi and the Amawi, and then you had the Mamluk, and then you had the Ottoman, and you had the Ottoman and the Persian. The Ottoman and the Persian that went into war for 2 centuries against each other. And you had the Egyptian and the Ottoman, and the Hijazi and the Iraqi, and on and on. And the Sunna Shia, the Shia Khawarij, the Shia Sunna Druze, the Shia Sunna Khawarij assassin, Qaramita, whatever it is, it was up like 19 of them. So it's not, if they are done with the Christian and the Jews, that will be fine. No, they will turn against each other.
Yeah.
If Israel would to disappear tomorrow, you know what's the next day? What's going to happen?
Spain,
Hamas and Hezbollah. No. Hamas and Hezbollah is going to fight each other.
Yeah, for sure.
because you know what? You're Shia, I'm Sunni, and I don't forget what you did to my Sunni brothers in Syria. And and I don't forget what you did to my Shia brother in Karbala and Najaf and Qum. And
Yeah, and just look how Hamas is treating its own people. Like, just look how it's treating their
oh
own
yeah,
citizens.
I
It's
I,
just
I wrote a long article about it, about the Shia Sunni historical conflict called the Palestine exception, because it's unifying them for now. Because we have Israel as an enemy, so that's the enemy, and the Sunni Shia just ignore it for now. We're gonna kill each other later, but for now, we just let's fight Israel.
my goodness.
Um,
Wow. But listen, man, I think you're very, very knowledgeable. You know, I
no,
really respect that.
I'm really not. I'm just a nerd. I'm a nerd
Nerds
with a good memory.
nerds will rule the world. I think that nerds are the best version of humans that exist. I love nerds.
I know. Me and my daughter used to wear matching T-shirts,
Mhm.
nerds, and then I found another one said the geek will rule the geek will inherit the earth,
Yeah.
and she loved it. It's like, okay, yeah, the geek will inherit the earth.
What do you define the difference between a nerd and a geek?
Um, most time it's they use the geek was trying to find how things work, how things function, take them apart in order to figure them out.
Mhm.
I used to be like take my computer apart, and a nerd would want to find out how things work and why things happen. So I would go on getting multi-volume of history in order to discover why that happened.
Mhm.
So I'm not dismantling anything. I'm just going on with the history book. Like I go a couple of thousand years to figure out how did we get here.
So you're a history nerd.
History, philosophy, state economy for a little bit, a specific kind of economy, Egyptology.
Judaism, theology, and
And
everything.
theology was not a nerd. Is I have a degree in theology, so
You took it to the extreme. Yeah, I think. Do you think there is Star Wars geeks or is only Star Wars nerds?
a funny thing, I've actually never watched either Star Wars or Star Trek.
You're not missing too much. I mean, Star Trek is
The-
nice.
I didn't watch them for a very specific reason, because during the 90s they were the nerd credential,
Ah, yeah.
and I was in high school. I refused the idea to be called a nerd. Then I'm not gonna watch them. But what I ended up doing instead, didn't watch those so I wouldn't be called a nerd. I ended up reading the Silmarillion and the Children of Húrin and the whole Lord of the Ring. So
You
because
managed to read
if
the Silmarillion? I tried it, man. It's like, wow, that was boring.
oh no
The
way.
Silmarillion is
Okay, sorry,
it's like the book in the Bible. What's its name? It's a Sefer. There's
Job.
there's one book in the Bible that just describes the different tribes and different families and different
This
ancestries.
is it's called the Book of Chronicles. This is actually the first 8
Yes,
chapter of that book. They are absolutely my favorite.
that's why you're a nerd.
No, because you're not you don't under okay. One of the biggest problem in philosophy is called the problem of the one and the many.
Yeah,
What is more important, the nation or the individual? Whatever choice you're gonna have, you're wrong.
yeah.
Okay, because the only answer is both.
Hmm.
So, like even take the name Israel. When you say Israel, what I'm talking about?
You're talking about the nation of
Israel,
Israel?
or I'm talking about Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a one and a many simultaneously.
Yeah.
So you have this is telling you you're a nation, but even the smallest tribe, the smallest family, the smallest tribe is recorded, and they matter, and they count, and they have history. It's a claim of family tree, is a claim of continuity. It's like,
I get the point.
my
It's still a very boring book.
Yeah, but to understand the Silmarillion, what happened, I don't know. There is one verse in the Bible explains several chapter in the Silmarillion. In Job 38:7, when God talking to Job, say, "Where were you when I created the heaven and earth and
Yeah.
everything?" And the sons of God shouted for joy. So apparently there was angel around God when he made everything, and they were very happy for what happened. So what Tolkien did, he took that one, and when Iluvatar sang the world into existence, you had the Eldar singing along with him to making harmony and making song. He really understand the mythology, understand the scripture very well.
Wow.
And it's yes, I am a nerd. I
No.
admitted that.
I like that. I don't know if I would be a nerd or a geek. Like I play D&D. You know, I have my D&D cup, and I love these fantasy books. I was also in the IDF. I was in the special forces, so a lot of the
Mhm.
nerdy stuff that I've saw and like played in games, I did in real life. Like I jumped from helicopters and I played it in computers, and did these things. But someone he wrote in my channel, he's a guy from Lebanon. I really like him. His name Phoenix. He says, "Geek equals how, nerds equals why."
Yeah, I was a geek for some time when in the 90s when computer came about. I wanted to figure out how the heck and they work, and then I changed it to Mac. You don't open a Mac. Don't touch that because it's just leave it as it is. But nerd is there is always a fascination. How did things why things happen, how it happened, how did we get there, and then you try to figure out history. It's absolutely fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my problem with the history is that a lot of people read it. I usually, my t-shirts kind of a user manual. I have one of my t-shirts reads, if you're comfortable reading history, you're doing it wrong.
That's
Because
good.
because
That is so
history,
good.
his history is not comfortable at
Oh
all.
man, I use that in a different way when people try to tell me that all humans are good, and I says like, what book of history are you basing that on? If an alien would come right now and land on the moon and just open a tablet and read the history of mankind, he will come with one conclusion: we've been murdering, stealing, raping, killing one
There
another,
is
and we only got better at it. And for a short period of time, there were just times of grace where there was a time of Europe, of Western civilization, where things were kind of nice. But the history of mankind, like, are you kidding me?
there is an American anthropologist in the 70s. He tried to prove his idea. Says that most people are basically good, and to prove that point, he wanted to walk across the state.
Mm-hmm.
So he reached to the county line. He got mugged, beaten, thrown into a ditch. And when he got out of the hospital, what he said, no, he didn't change his mind. He said, okay, 99% of the people are basically good. I met my one. So he still doesn't, because human don't change their ideas. Like, uh, uh,
That's like these European
yeah,
girls who want to walk.
what level of fantasy you believe,
Yeah.
people are basically good is like,
That's like
yeah.
European girls who want to walk the Muslim countries, and they. I once actually met one in Israel. I was called to come to a hostel, a backpacking hostel, because there was a Dutch girl, blonde Dutch girl, who wanted to go and celebrate in Egypt the the Arab Spring, the Muslim Brotherhood. So they called me and said, "Mansour, you speak Arabic, you know the Arab culture a little bit. Can you come and explain to her that's a bad idea?" So I came from my home to meet my American friend there who was trying to convince this girl. So I was telling her, listen, you're a blonde girl, and it's a Muslim Arab country, and in general, it's not a safe thing to go alone. And definitely not now. I really urge you, please don't go now. She called me an Islamophobe. She called me names. She got angry at me. She went. Um, she got jumped in the street by a guy who started, sexually assaulting her, grabbing her hair. She started screaming for help. Other guys who heard it came and joined the guy on raping her. And
And
the more she screamed, the more people came and did things to her.
yeah, And there was I can't remember where from. She was there was a journalist during the Arab
Also a
Spring was in
journalist,
Egypt.
yes.
Yeah, and she was sexually assaulted live on TV.
Yeah.
And it's like my daughter wanted to have a holiday in the Middle East, and she was going, I don't know. I'm choosing between Egypt, Jordan, and Israel. I said, go to Israel. And said what? I said, because at least over there, you would have a police and a government to protect you.
Yeah.
And you would have people couldn't care less how you wear, what you're walking, and you just go.
No, yeah.
In Egypt, except unless you go in a very exclusive area where it's for the upper rich in Juna or the New Cairo, But last time I was in Egypt was the early this century. I couldn't recognize the place, and I got in a taxi. So, and I'm Egyptian. I understand the language and everything, but I was living in Beirut at the time. And so when we got to the destination, and I asked the guy to stop, says where? I said Hayallah Makan. So I used the Lebanese word. Hayallah is Lebanese. He's
Yeah.
not Egyptian. So he figured out that I'm not Egyptian. So the price of the taxi went up by 20%. Sorry, 20 times. And instead of paying him 20 pounds, he wanted 200. I said, what? He said, yeah, that's the price for non-Egyptian. I am Egyptian. Yeah, right. So it's a place I wouldn't advise anyone to go, even though I'm Egyptian. He's like, what?
No, listen,
Just don't.
I got dragged to walk all of Jordan by foot because my partner back then, she's a German, and she heard that Jordan opened the Jordan Trail, Darb al Urdun, and she wanted to go, and I told her, no, you're not going. And she came and she told me, yes, I am. I said, listen, you're not going. You're a blonde German girl. You're not walking through the deserts of Jordan right now. Like if you go to Petra, there's okay, it's touristic places, but you're gonna like there's Bedouin tribes there that are just they're completely lunatics, Palestinians there.
Yeah, I know. I lived in Jordan for a year.
So listen to this. So she says she's going, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna join you. So I went and I walked with her. We got kidnapped. We got assaulted. We got robbed. We got like it's insane.
Yeah, it's
It was
like
a
sorry, it's
survivor
like
trip.
yeah, it's like walking the street of Stockholm these days.
It was yeah. And the crazy story is, and my mom is old school, Druze lady. She lives in a Jewish city, so she got exposed to like modern, society, etc. But still, she took us to the street before we went to Jordan. She said, Mansour, promise me one thing. And I said, what? And she said, also you. She'd like to look at my partner, and she said, promise me, whatever you do not trust a Bedouin. And I was like, Mom, that you're next to a German. Like, don't throw the Middle Eastern racist stuff right now. Like, the Germans don't get this. I said, no, I mean it. Don't trust the Bedouins. They can be friendly. There may be nice Bedouins, but in general, be careful with the Bedouins. We got robbed,
yeah, in
attacked,
Egypt we
stolen.
had the same thing. You trust the Bedouin in the daytime, not at night.
Yeah. So my German partner came and like laughed at her and said like, oh my God, this is like so this. I said, okay, you know what? After the trip, she came. She said, your mother was right. We got robbed by Bedouins. We got assaulted by Bedouins. We got kidnapped by Bedouins. I was like, okay, yeah. I guess the older ones knew a thing or two.
Because I try to tell my kids, I said, okay, when I'm correcting you, I'm not trying to be posse. I'm just trying to help you not to make the same stupid mistakes I made.
Oh, good
Because
luck.
I actually I made the exact stupid mistakes. I'm telling you don't do it, but you want to do it, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's your time.
I guess it's the curse of being a parent. How to give your wisdom to your children.
Yeah, my daughter grew out of it because in her teens, I was absolutely don't know what I'm talking about in anything, including the subject I actually teach. It's like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking until she went to the uni and in her graduation. Then I started to be someone she asked. And then my proudest moment is when he did her graduation project was a documentary about me.
Wow.
And she got a distinction for it. She was did a very good job. It's like, wow, okay. I said, I'm proud. And she said, because I need to figure you out. Okay. So
What a beautiful story, man. What a beautiful story. Hey, listen, how should I call you? Salam?
It's Salam, yes.
Salame, it was really, really a pleasure to talk to you here.
Pleasure
I
is all mine. I haven't seen you, or I think I have seen you following me, or I haven't. But anyway,
No, I
uh,
haven't yet. I'm gonna follow you.
because anyway, keep in
I'm gonna
touch.
have to
Don't be a
log in
stranger.
and follow you. But listen, man, it was really a pleasure, and I think everybody in my audience here as well, they loved what you had to say.
Could you give me your YouTube link or
Absolutely.
handle?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because I have no idea. I made a fool of myself, probably.
No, you didn't. You were the by far the smartest person I spoke to in New Mingle. So, which is not a
Sorry,
big compliment.
no, smart and making a fool of yourself is not mutually exclusive, by the
No,
way.
that's true, but in general, like I can give you better compliments and tell you're the smartest guy I've met in New Mingle. Like the level of IQ that I meet here is very, very low. But you did a great job, man. It was really, really fun talking to you. Did you see it? Did you copy it?
Because yeah, I did. Because a lot of people, I think, they are not here to exchange idea, or I work from home, so, and I love people from a distance and in small group.
Mm-hmm.
I don't function well with a large group of people. So this is great. Like, have you ever watched The Big Bang Theory?
Oh yeah, I love that.
One of the early episodes, Sheldon, there is a sentence he said, the first time I heard that, I laughed my head off. He says, um, I have 250 friends on my MySpace or my LinkedIn. Said, yeah, but you never met any of them. He said, yes, that's the beauty of it. so, so it's like, yes, I have hundreds of friends. I've never met any of them. That's the
That's
beauty
what I
of it.
like about
So,
this. Yeah, it's a great show.
yeah,
Can I ask what do you do for a living? What is your profession? You don't have to answer if you don't want. Just out of curiosity.
I'm an editor and a writer. I work for a publishing house and I write and edit books.
Wow.
I have the best job ever for me. I get paid to read and write.
I can
And
completely see
and
why.
in whatever topic I want.
I like that.
So, like, my boss, I finish something and I give it to him, and whatever it is, if he doesn't like it, tough. But usually it's like, the last thing you said. I like where you're heading these days. Your head is in some place I like, because whatever you produce is affected by whatever you read.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you follow my Twitter, there is a handle for a think tank I write for, called Ideological Defense Institute. So you will see the articles I'm writing these days. I think I'm the reason everybody think it's the IDI, called Israel Defense Institute, because I'm writing a lot about replacement theology, and a lot of this, the stupid talking points, the Khazarian theory. Jesus was a Palestinian. All of this stuff I'm writing about it.
Listen, I need to have you in my show again because I really love, reading history. That's like my Bible, the Old Testament, the New Testament, and it went with me through all my desert hikes. When I finished my military service in Israel, I wanted to read it where it happened, whatever I can. So I grabbed this book and I walked all of Israel by foot, and I made notes and I read history where it happened and biblical history as well, all the New Testament.
My next time in Israel, there is one place I have to go to.
Tell me.
Caesarea Philippi, at the base of Mount Hermon.
I'll take you there. If you ever come and I'm there, gladly.
I'm going in short while.
Listen, you should go there. There's actually really, really nice places there. I'll tell you.
It's called what? The reservation is called Bisan, or Bisan reservation.
Could be Bisan.
Bisan. I'm looking it up. It's Caesarea Philippi, Banias.
Banyas,
Banyas,
yes, the
Banyas,
Banyas River.
Banyas,
Yeah,
the
I passed it
Banyas
when I did the
Reserve.
Israel Trail. There,
I have to go there.
listen, there you can find a very unique place. You know the verse in the New Testament where Jesus, Yeshua, is asking his disciples, "Who do you think I am?"
Matthew 16, he stand at there were the gates of Pan and the gates of Hades, and he said, "The gates of hell shall not prevail." Yes, I know that.
And you know, and
It
and
was
then
in it was in Caesarea Philippi.
yeah, and I think exactly there, and I think Apollos comes and tells him, "Oh, they say you're a prophet, you're this," and then he says, "No, no. Who do you think I am?" And when you go there, you get a really nice context of the place because you can see pretty much.
Because yeah, I know when I read how throughout history Christian understood it, it's like, okay, guys, if you want to actually understand the Christian scripture, the New Testament, you have to think like a Jew, because the people who were listening to what Jesus was saying were Jews. The culture, the language,
Mhm.
like there's a few things where sometimes I try to explain to people who said, what? There's one very interesting verse. A lot of modern day Christians don't understand it, what he's getting at. When he was talking to John the Baptist disciple, and he said, "What do you came out to see? A reed swaying in the wind?"
Mhm.
And we take it because it's a reed swaying in the wind. And okay, that's good as far as it goes. But what he was doing for the people listening to him, Herod Antipas insignia on his coin was a reed.
Mhm.
And people had this coin in their pocket already listening to him. And
Ah.
he was taking a dig at Herod because his wife made him change his mind, and like a reed. And because he goes on, a reed is swinging in the wind. If you're looking for the rich people in fine clothes, you'll find them in palaces. And he was digging at Herod, and the people who are around him understood what he's saying.
You
But
should go.
because we are far removed, we read it a kind of sanitized version.
Yeah. If
It's
you
like,
get permits, I don't know if the army allows right now because it's too close to some Palestinian villages, but if you get to see the Herodion, the mountain that is the grave of King Herod, that's fascinating. You know, he built like a mountain for himself and he buried himself in the
yeah,
mountain.
yeah, I know. It's
It's
he he
fascinating.
he had the delusion of grandeur, the entire dynasty.
Yeah, yeah, and he told his
No,
generals
no,
to go and kill the firstborn in every
but yeah,
village in his death, so everyone
there,
will mourn with him.
yeah, there is one. I think it's Tiberius Caesar. He was
Yeah.
said it's better to be Herod pigs than Herod children, because he was trying to be as an Edomite. He was trying to be to appear as a Jew, so he would never kill a pig.
Hmm.
He's a Jew,
Mm-hmm.
but he killed the three of his children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you're his pig, you're gonna live. If he's your son, he might kill you.
Yeah.
So,
So I know. So what I want to tell you about Caesarea Philippi is in that place where he was asking, there's actually still remnants of different statues of gods around the walls.
yes, because there were two things there. There was one place called the Grotto of Pan, the
Mm-hmm.
Gate of Pan,
Mm-hmm.
which the Hebraic called it the Gate of Hades. They believed that was the gate to the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also there the ones you're talking about with the Temple of Zeus.
Yeah.
That place was when it comes to theology, it was jump packed theologically, and it wasn't chosen at random.
Yeah.
It was very intentional to choose that
Very
place.
intentional. You know, they were sitting around a bonfire, probably eating a fish together from the river, the Banyas, and that's he chose to ask that particular question in that particular place because it was probably a discussion that was going around.
And if you read the Second Temple literature, in the culture of the day, they actually believe that is the rebellion against God took place on Mount Hermon itself. And the first, that was the northern border. When Joshua went to the land, he was told, go and find against the king of Og, the king of Bashan. So
Mm-hmm.
Bashan, with that's the place of the rebellion. That's the place of the wilderness. So to go to that place, yeah, it was a lot more than modern reader actually read.
Oh yeah.
This,
Oh yeah.
you know. reading the whole scripture, like the same thing with Exodus in Egypt. A lot of people take it as the plagues in Egypt were against the Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
They were not, because if you remember the story, by the third plague, the Egyptian magician already give up. They said, "Oh, this is the finger of God. We're done." Okay, that's by the third. What is the other seven were for?
For Pharaoh to convince him to let the people go.
Nope. Because from the very start, what Moses said to Pharaoh is, Israel is my firstborn, is my firstborn son. Let my son go, or I will kill your firstborn. That's the beginning. So he was not. It's not escalation. If you read in, you have your Bible behind you. You read Exodus 12:12. That is who the plagues were against, and it's telling you already there. 12:12.
Exodus what?
12:12.
You want to read it in English or in Hebrew?
Either.
Let's go with the English if we're going to understand. Exodus 12:12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night, and will strike all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both men and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord.
And you got it, against all the gods of Egypt.
Yeah.
If you go through, if you study Egyptology and you go through the plagues, each and every one of them against the very specific god of Egypt. You know, they were not random, because Habi, the Nile, you turn the Nile, because in Egypt there is a concept in Egyptian mythology called Ma'at, roughly translated the order of things. Everything has an order, including the gods. So the god of life cannot kill. There is another god to kill. So when you get Habi, the god is the god of life, to actually kill, you're turning the gods inside out. You're making them to do something that's not in their nature. When you make Amun, that gives light, you know, Atun, you make the sun dark, so you're turning the god against its nature. So it was basically taking the Egyptian gods and behind the woodshed, taking
bringing the dominance of the one true God. Yeah.
And so what was happening, it was a kind of a court scene. And to understand the court scene, you actually have to read Psalm 82. That's what was going on in Egypt.
Psalms what?
82. Because you read the Exodus 12:12 as against the gods of Egypt, I will pass judgment. So the judgment were against Egyptian gods. So what was happening?
82.
Yeah. That's the court.
Which, or the entire psalm? Oh, it's a short one.
It's a short one, yes.
A psalm of Asaph. Mizmor Asaph, a psalm of Asaph. God stands in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. How long will you judge unjustly? And how partially to the wicked? Defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Free them from the hands of the wicked. They do not know, nor do they understand. They walk about darkness, all the foundations of the earth unstable. I said, you are God, and all of you children of the Most High. But you shall die like man, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth, for you shall inherit all the nations.
You see what happened? It's a court scene telling the gods, you're unjust, you're not fair, and you are going to die like men. It's sitting judgment. And so you put that together with Exodus 12:12. Is like, oh, I see the court scene, and Pharaoh in this case is merely acted as just a hostile witness.
Wow, man, that's beautiful.
So it's just, you know.
If you go to Israel, have you been to Capernaum, Kfar Nahum?
I haven't. Last time I had just 1 week. I stayed.
I strongly
I had
recommend.
three
Let me
three
tell
days
you a
3 days
fun
in
story.
Jerusalem and 3 days in Tel Aviv.
I
So
know, I know. Let me tell you a fun story. So, I was in the jungles in Africa. I got lost, got found by a tribe. Crazy story. I didn't think I got lost. I thought I was. I convinced 12 tribe leaders from a jungle to come visit Israel. I don't know how it happened. In the end, they managed to get money. They don't have money there even. And they came to Israel. So I ended up taking them for a tour in Israel. 12 tribe leaders, Christian tribe leaders from Uganda in the mountains. And I took them to Capernaum. That was one of the places that I took them. And one of them was an 84 years old man named Godfrey. And he was standing while others were learning about one of the first congregation houses, because there was a graffiti there that maybe one of the disciples of Jesus did during a Bible study. So he was standing over the bridge, because it was a bridge over the archaeology, so you don't step on the stones. And he was looking at it. And I came to him and I said, Godfrey, what's on your mind? And he says, you people built this 2,000 years ago. And I'm like, well, not we, but yeah, the people who were here, the Romans, the Greeks, the Jews, yeah, they're all. And he's like, you people are amazing. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he says, we still don't build like this. And I started laughing
one of my
because it was
absolute
stone
favorite
building and he's
things.
living in
Yeah.
a mud house that is made out of mud and out of cow poop mixed together. And I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
one of my absolute favorite things in a Saqqara pyramid complex
Yeah.
in Egypt. There is a Greek inscription. Was done around 100 150 BCE, like 2,000 years ago. The
Mm-hmm.
Greek inscription says that some Greek tourist writing they loved visiting these antiquities, because when they visited for the Greek 2,000 years ago, it was 2,000 to 3,000 years old when the Greek visited. So you have Greek tourists writing on those pyramids. It's like so and so is here. We loved seeing this stuff. You see it in Sahara. It's hilarious
Yeah.
because if you think about it as a time scale, the time between us and those Greek is less than the time between them and the pyramid.
It's insane.
This is like
That's
because
insane.
I took my daughter with me to a tour to the States. So we were in New York City, and our tour guide was showing us these historical buildings. And my daughter was 14 at the time. She started laughing her head off. And the tour guide looking at her said, "What?" I said, "Okay, I'm sorry. We at the time we lived in Amman." I said she was born in Beirut and lived in Amman, and the stone she walks on as a toddler literally were installed by a Roman 2,000 years ago.
Wow.
So showing here a building that's 150 years old, that's as far as concerned, that's still new. It hasn't
It's not
dried
gonna
yet.
impress her.
It's like
I had the same story in a different way. I grew up. I lived in Eilat in Israel, so close to the border with Egypt.
yeah.
And a friend of mine started the first beer brewery in Eilat using the water from the Red Sea. So for me, that was like, history. That's probably the first beer ever made by the water of the Red Sea that I know, at least. And she's German, and she grew up in a beer town. So I took her there, and we were drinking beer, and she grabbed the bottle and she started laughing. And she's a very polite German. And it says, me and the bar owner, like the brewery owner, kind of asked her, like, what are you laughing about? It's like, oh, it's so cute. And I says, what? It says the beer is called Suf, and it says since 2019 or something like that, or 16. And she said, like, I've never seen such a young beer. Like every beer that I've seen is like since the 1600.
Okay,
or
I would love people like that because Egyptian here we can humble them, because one of the things we discovered in Egypt is actually beer mugs, because in ancient Egypt the standard stable for school children is bread and beer. So you go your lunchbox, because beer was cleaner than water. Your
That's before
lunchbox
Islam
is
came. Yeah.
sorry, before Arabs existed.
Before everything
So
existed. Before they made the
so
silly rules about
so,
alcohol.
we have 5,000 or 5,000 years old beer jar. It's like for a germ. There is one Egyptian philosopher in 600 or 300 BCE, was telling a Greek Egyptian priest, telling a Greek philosopher, "You Greeks are children and have no history." Because by the time Greek came into existence was like with the linear B during the Mycenaean was 1500 BCE. Egypt has been around for 1500 years. So but when the Greek came, it was like for Egyptian is like Britain and America.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, you just came about it. So and when they're talking there, my grandfather's house. I was born and grew up in Hart el Yahud, the Jewish street in Cairo.
wow.
So some of my coffee shop was built in 1700. The
Mm,
coffee I go to, and and some of the houses that in our neighborhood was before Columbus discovered America. So to go
wow.
to America, tell you, look at this historical building. What? That's my living room. You know,
Listen,
my
listen.
my my grandfather's house is older than that.
Someone is saying in the audience here, Brandon. He says beer was invented by Palestine. So
Yeah, sure.
no,
What
he's
isn't?
joking. He's joking. I don't
I
think
know what.
anyone
I
take
know
that
what.
seriously.
No, what isn't?
Exactly, pizza. Hey,
Y-
last
You know,
question.
Palestinians were invented by Palestine. Come on.
That's true.
It's actually no, they
That's
were
actually very
sorry.
true.
That's historically incorrect. They were invented by KGB and the Egyptian intelligence, but that's a
And
different
Yasser
story.
Arafat, yeah. Hey, maybe last question, and then I will let you go if you don't mind. Coming from Phoenix, the man from Lebanon, he's asking, Mansour, did we ask him about the Islamization attempts of Europe, his thoughts, and what should Europeans and British people know?
No, you didn't ask me. I do think it's been done intentionally because okay, back in 1930s, there is a bunch of German philosophers, Marxist philosopher called the Frankfurt School of Philosophy. They tried to study why on earth communism started in Russia, but not in France, America, and England. Because Marcus, his scientific theory, it will start in an industrial country. But what happened? It actually Marxism started in an agriculture country. So they discovered to make you're talking and Adorno, Herbert Marcuse, and a bunch of other people. They discovered that in an industrial country, the rich people get richer, but the poor also get richer. Everybody rise up, and your level is an industrial country. Is the average person have a life better than the king of France in 15th century because life gets better for everybody. Yes, the pay gap increase. You're not getting paid as much as Elon Musk, but the life quality also increase.
Mm-hmm.
But they found out if they won't have a communist utopia, a communist country, they cannot change an industrial capitalist society. They actually have to bring it down and build on its ruins.
Hmm.
And the result of that is what give us the critical theory. You have it in language. You get deconstructionist where text has no meaning. You get people like Jacques Derrida, and then you get it in art. You get it in music. You get it in family, in any binary, and you get it in critical race theory and all of that. By doing this, you're literally trying to bring the entire Western civilization down in order to start from scratch. But one of the quickest way is to use a common enemy. So the Western civilization is being intentionally brought down, and Islamization is used as the way it was used allegedly in Iran, but it didn't happen. So that kind of alliance has one intention and one goal. They have a utopian society in their head, and they do want to bring the West down. The bigger problem I have is the current European government is trying to manage the situation because they have a huge population and it's a population you don't like to upset them because they do act erratically. Remember that Danish cartoon and Theo van Gogh and Salman Rushdie affair. So they try to manage them by keeping everybody calm. When the actual solution is the government should implement the laws we already have, because contrary to common belief, there is no country on human history that had unqualified religious freedom. Every single system in history have qualification, like Europe have religious freedom, but polygamy is illegal, child marriage is illegal, cannibalism is illegal. So if your belief system says, oh, I eat people, yeah, keep it in your head. We don't allow that here. There is some branch of Hinduism do practice cannibalism, called the Agoris. No, sorry, that's illegal here. So we have a lot of things. You have a qualified religious freedom. So there are certain things where we would have to say, no, that stops, like closing the street and praying in the street. Sorry, that's illegal. But it's my religion. You don't practice it in public where you inconvenience other people, just like we do with other. And you implement the law and you leave the religion itself as an intellectual discussion, because I do believe, and you can argue about that long time. I know we need to go. Islam is intellectual junk food. I mean, it looks nice from the outside, it smells nice, and you think, oh, I would like to eat that. But the second you actually know the ingredients, you find that's not even food.
That's unhealthy.
Yeah. So, and if you throughout history, it was protected from criticism by the state. The problem is European state now is acting like middle-age Islamic state, where people who have different opinion are zindiqs and Islamophobes and all the rest. It's like, no, guys, we really, I cannot ever be an Islamophobe by the meaning hate Muslim, because that's my mom and my sister and my siblings, But the religion, oh yeah, absolutely, because that religion is victimizing my entire family. So we need European people vote those lunatics out and actually vote someone in who understand the problem, because we're not gonna get a vacuum. You're gonna get, if Europe fail, if that system fail, you're gonna get one of three systems. You're gonna get the Marxist, the Islamist, or what I would like to call the Scythian alternative. You know the Scythian?
No.
Did you read Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
They are the Dothrakis.
Huh.
Yeah, the Martin copied the Scythian into the Dothrakis. So the ones who, we don't build anything, we don't farm any field, we go and pillage and take what we want.
We just kill and plunder, yeah.
Yeah, the Scythian were known. We have some of their artifacts where they drink their drinks in people's skulls and stuff like that. They were one of the most violent people. They lived in the Turkish mountain, that area. Anyway, so those are the three alternatives. You get in two of them, you're going to lose your individual freedom, because Marxism cannot exist or function on individual liberty, because you need a centralized, controlled planning and governing. So once it's centralized, you're doing what the state tells you, you have no freedom. And we got 200 cases in history to see how it worked out, from Stalin to Maduro. And then you get Islam, where you don't only lose your freedom, you lose your freedom and your right to make laws, and some of the people will become second-class citizens, and legally there is no reason why you don't have slave markets again. We've seen it in Libya, we've seen it in Zinjar. The third alternative is the Dothrakis. Each one on his own, and nobody's safe, because the idea we have it today, all people are equal, all people are under law, including the king and the president are under law. Those are not natural ideas.
No.
You know where they came from?
Christianity?
Nope, that's Moses.
Hmm.
Because where did we get it from?
The Ten Commandment, yeah.
Yeah, because the whole idea of in Europe, when a Scottish author in 18th century wrote a book called Lex Rex, The Law is King, they put him under house arrest and they burned the book, because before that, Lex Rex is taken from the book of Deuteronomy.
Mhm.
Before that, it was Rex Lex, the king is the law. So whatever the king says, that's the law. To get the idea that's no, there is a law above the king, that's Moses.
Mhm.
You know what we did, the American Constitution, basically it's Moses and a toga. We use the Greek and Roman vocabulary, but essentially it's Moses. When American says, we take these truths to be self-evident, no, they're not. There is nothing self-evident about all people are equal.
Yeah.
The only self-evident thing is, no, we're different. We're different in socioeconomic, intelligent, ethnicity, culture, everything. The idea that everybody is equal, that's a theological statement.
Oh yeah. Strip faith away, take theology away, we're not equal. I'm faster than you, you're bigger than me. I'm stronger than you, you're stronger than me. There's nothing equal
yeah,
about us.
and if you're going to take it to its the secular extreme, it's survivor of the fittest. I got a bigger muscles or a bigger weapon than you are.
Yeah.
You know, the or the whole idea of consent of the governed. The government need your consent to be ruled. That's Hebrew. The Romans ruled by might.
Mhm.
The Egyptian ruled by might. Every single nation ruled by might. Like the Decalogue was absolutely rebellious document at the time,
You need
because
strong people. You need strong people to play equality. Because
yeah, and
if people who don't want to play that game will come and try to kill you, then you can fight them back and let your people keep playing equality.
and you
The
need
moment you
and
don't
you
have
need
strong people, you don't
yeah,
have equality.
yeah, and you need foundation.
Yep.
Because it's like, why do we allow people to vote? Because we believe the foundation is every single person is sovereign and the sovereignty of the individual. But if I'm going to talk intellectually, half of the people in every country I lived in, I don't want them to vote.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, those idiots are going to decide my life for me.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
because the second you have any right granted you by the state, it's no longer a right, it's a privilege. So under an Islamic system, you get a privilege, you don't have rights.
So you think that the reason that communism and Islam work together so well, even though they're so different, is mostly because communism is playing Islam by unleashing it on Europe, hoping that it will destroy it.
Okay, what I can say in public without people knowing, they thinking that I already have grown a second head. I believe it's the same strategy they tried several times. The enemy of my enemy, like, try to figure out, give me any reasonable explanation how on earth you got the Third Reich cooperating with Amin al-Husseini.
Yeah,
They
that's
working
crazy.
together. Because you already consider the Arabs to be one of the lowest, but you're working with them because we have a common enemy. How you get the Shia Sunni cooperating? How you get the because what is the common enemy between the Red Green Alliance today? And it's not a secret. Every single one of them tells you.
Israel.
Before Israel, they want to bring America down.
The West, yeah, the big
Because they
Satan.
believe Yeah, before they believe if they bring America down, that will bring Israel down, which is historically hilarious because you do know when America military cooperation started with Israel in 68. So all the wars the Arab lost was long before America had any armed treaty. But we invented America helping Israel for a psychological reason, because if we got beaten by America, the strongest army on earth, it's not that bad. But get beaten by Israel,
Yeah.
that's bad. That's why America's helping them. It's like, okay, so like if it's not for Israel, America would still probably be still fighting the Cold War by now.
If it
In
wasn't for Israel,
1968,
America will still be fighting.
America will probably.
Why?
In 1968, there is a secret meeting of Gorbachev, where he really, really laid it down on Stalin. The people knew it existed. CIA tried to get it. The Mossad, the MI6 tried to get it. The French intelligence, everybody's trying to get it. And the Mossad did. The Mossad got it. And they went to the five intelligence and they offered it to them. When the Mossad joined the big the Five Eyes, they didn't join out of pity. They joined because they proved themselves they can actually do the job. They got a document. Every single intelligence, the Five Eyes tried and failed to get it.
Wow.
So it's like playing with the big boys now.
Oh yeah.
And if they didn't have it, they probably they'll be still guessing what was happening, because that one really unraveled the Soviet Union, especially the opinion of the Western left about the Soviet Union, along with Solzhenitsyn's writing.
What did this document teach them?
It was a secret meeting where he confessed to all the atrocity that happened under Stalin.
So it actually exposed communism.
Oh yes, and it was what that's your guy. That's the Secretary General of the Communist Party. It was a secret meeting, and the Mossad got it. I can't remember the name of the operation,
So
but
you
it
can
was
say
one
that
of
the
those
Mossad
things.
had a part in saving the world from communism.
Yes, and communism, and paid it back by inventing, with the help of the Egyptian, inventing a Palestinian cause. They never forgot that.
They paid. Yeah. Wow. What a closure. No, that's true.
Or
because
they did it before that. Yeah, because it was the fascination about it. It was a merely 12 years old organization, because in 68 it was very young organization. But you're getting that tiny young organization managing to actually play with the big boys. Today, they changed the rule book completely. Whatever was intelligence a few years ago is no longer intelligence today. Like I read it somewhere when Khamenei died. Netanyahu received a video record from the. It's like, I'm sorry, what?
From the rebels. Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, I wouldn't be surprised if someone says, "Oh, the Mossad's headquarters now is in Tehran." Yeah, I believe you. It's like
that story that there was a time where Iran, the RGC, created a new unit, a secret new unit that's purpose was to hunt down Mossad agents.
I heard it from Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
And then they found out that unit was actually the Mossad himself.
Yeah, the head of the unit. I heard
the
it from
head and the first 22 officers in that unit.
Yeah, I heard it from Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. It's like, no, one of the funniest one to me. It was absolutely hilarious. In the 60s, there were a bunch of Germans, rocket scientists working for Egypt. And the Mossad recruited someone to actually work with the Mossad, and they targeted the German rocket scientists in Egypt. But for about 10 years, he believed he was working for MI6. So they got the guy working with them. He didn't know he's working for Mossad. He was working for MI6. It's like, okay.
That's crazy, man. That's
I've-
crazy.
Eli Cohen, you managed to get him to the highest rank in the Syrian intelligence.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because the one thing again, the one thing that what I'm getting at, the one thing in the region Israel does, no other country in the region does, in investing in human capital.
Yeah.
Because your most precious commodity is people.
Yeah.
For the rest of the region, we still use in Egypt population bomb. We still think people are a problem. When in reality, people are your strongest asset. They are your strongest asset if you educate them and leave them free and give them freedom to innovate. But if you're trying to manage them, good luck with that.
And give them a moral compass, like some kind of moral guidance. People
You
ignore
mean
that.
you mean allow people the most basic fundamental rights, the right to exit a belief system?
Mm-hmm. To have a belief system to be protected by law.
No, to have a belief system they can leave.
Mm.
We're not allowed to do that.
In Islam, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're punished by death.
Not always. I had only 1 year in prison.
What?
Yeah, what?
You had a year in prison because you decided you're not a Muslim anymore? You don't believe in that faith?
Decided to become a Christian, yeah.
Because you converted to Christianity, they put you in jail?
My dad reported me and then they got me in for a year. So
What was the
long story.
court? What was the court like?
No court there. Okay, now it's absolutely fascinating logically. Egyptian constitution guarantees freedom of religion.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody can choose whatever belief system they like. But within the legal code, there is an article called 98F. It says criticizing any divinely inspired religion is punishable by law, by imprisonment. Okay, so if some Christian become a Muslim, that's constitutional. That is religious freedom. You can do that. But as a Muslim become a Christian, that's blasphemy because you're calling a divinely inspired religion wrong. Therefore, you go not because you changed your religion, but because you blasphemed. It's fascinating in its circularity. It's like, okay, your mere existence as someone who left Islam is illegal.
My goodness, that's
Yeah,
insane, man.
yeah. It is hilarious.
That's
But I was
insane.
lucky. I was in Egypt. Could have been worse.
Yeah, some places would have
I could
been.
have I could have been in Pakistan or Saudi.
Oh yeah, some places exactly. By the
So
way, lies don't
I
lie. Sorry, I have to say something. Thank you so much for that, man. That communism is the purest form of socialism. And he's also saying, awesome dude, be sure to get him back. I am definitely want to invite you back on my show. I'll be honored, especially to speak about replacement theology. That is something that I feel like is an ancient lie that is becoming very popular now.
it's actually not that ancient.
When I say ancient, I mean like a few hundred years old.
1800. Actually, we know when, we know who, and we know why.
Okay. And then I want you on my show again to talk about it because I feel like a lot of people right now are tapping into that, especially among the young conservatives in America.
Because that's where it came from. It started in the Bernard Over district in New York.
Really?
Long story. It will be interesting. We'll talk about it another time.
I would love to. I will contact you, man, on X if that's okay with you, and maybe we can schedule.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will be honored.
Absolutely.
I will be honored, and I want to thank you so much for taking your time. And I know the audience here also loved.
I know. You told me, but I completely forgot your name. Mansoor, yes, you told because it's like, okay, I remember the name is a name that's a root I really don't like, but then uh,
Because you have
of the same.
Mansoura. You have a city
No,
place
because no, I don't like because of Nasser.
yeah, fair enough.
The same, but no, the same root. I said root. It's the same
Nasrallah,
root.
Nasr. You know, when I used to play role play games, I used to call myself Victor, because Mansour is Victor, and my family name is Ashkar, and I used to say Bright. So I said, like, if I want to have a sophisticated name, Victor Bright sounds like a sophisticated kind of Western name.
Yes, yes.
The
Oh, I had
Mansour
that.
Ashkar.
You lived in Lebanon, so you would understand that. Your audience wouldn't at all. You have to explain it. We had, when we lived in Lebanon, we decided to have a Christmas party. So we invited all our Lebanese friends. What we didn't know, some of them, it was in the mid 90s. Some of them don't socialize with each other, because we had Druze, Maronite, Shia, we had all our friends. And
Wow.
then two of them came and asking, introducing each other. What's your name? Rima Shu, Rima Nasrallah. Okay, where are you from? أنا من البقاع. Which village? And she just looked at her and said, okay, I'm a Protestant, because the name, she's trying to ask which sect you're from, because Nasrallah work as a Shia and as a Druze and as a Christian. So it's like, which village, which area? So it's like, I'm a
Totally.
Protestant. She short circuit the whole conversation.
They're very
And he has friends
suspicious in
coming
that
to me.
region.
Yeah, do you know his Druze? And I said, yes. And you're a friend with him? Yes. So I found out there is a Lebanese, they can trust an Egyptian more than trust each other, because it was during you have the Syrian occupation was ongoing, and so they don't know who's going to report against who. But for them, I know the language, I'm not invested in it, and I wasn't part of the war. It was a weird time, because the war was almost over just a few years before, but you still, I was down at the south at the Lebanese border with Israel, mere hours after the withdrawal of 2000.
Wow.
Once I heard it in the radio, I actually have a picture of me sitting on a Merkava in the south.
Really?
Yes, because
in South Lebanon.
I literally was there, was like within hours of the withdrawal.
You have a fascinating life. By the way, thank you so
Yeah,
much. Mansu, did you see Robbie Pesach Wolick's recent video in response to Matt Walsh? Really good show. How generally free societies eventually beat totalitarian governments every time. No, I haven't seen it. Sounds like an interesting one. I'll definitely try to go watch it. And thank you so much for this. Much appreciated. Lies don't lie. Did you find the picture with
Yeah. Oh, here it is. On a Merkava.
did they did you ask the crew how do you
No, it was it's the IDF withdrew from the South
so it was
Lebanon
abandoned?
and abandoned. And this is, oh, you would love this one. This is the streets of Lebanon. Can you see the flags?
Hezbollah flag? What is it?
Hezbollah, the green one is Amal, and the red one is Che Guevara.
Wow.
Hey, it's Lebanese. As long as they can sell it, they will sell it to anybody and anything.
Phoenix, do you agree with that? Do you concede with that?
Lebanese are absolutely fantastic business people. Whatever it is they do business in, they will do it. And if he disagree, I wouldn't believe he's Lebanese.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Anyway, Mansour, was lovely meeting you.
Shukran. Anjad, shukran. Thank you so much, man. And I'll be in touch with you. And I would be more than honored to have you again on my show. Also, the people, I had people here. I got to tell you this one. Someone said this. Hey, great. I was supposed to go to sleep 2 hours ago. This is Rohium. People stayed
one
awake because you were so
one
fascinated with your
one
knowledge.
one of the function of my wife to tell me, sweetheart, it's time to keep quiet now,
I get the
because
same.
you know, when you get excited about the topic, I forget. She sent me a picture 10 years and 12 years ago how my brain works.
Mhm.
So it's a light switch, obsessed, not interested. So
Click.
that's how my brain works. I'm either obsessed or not interested at all.
Well, we appreciate your obsession here. You came to the right place. So thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Mansoor.
God bless, my salami, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye. Ooh, what a nice conversation. That was something, right? That was a surprise. I was so impressed by his knowledge and everything here. I want to thank you guys all for sticking around and staying for so long. I want to thank Lies Destroy Lives as well for the very, very generous contribution here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm going to definitely try to bring this guy back. I think he was very knowledgeable. It's very refreshing. I was thinking, should I go Umingle? Should I go there or not? I'm just going to meet idiots. And bam, I got surprised. And also, yes, Phoenix, the whole shebang. Phoenix, thank you so much for the commentary that you did here, and also for putting the links. You found so fast this guy's ex. I strongly recommend you guys go follow him. Seems like, if trust me when I'm telling you, as someone who grew up in the Middle East and who studied history and studied the history of Islam and Judaism and Christianity, who walked the land, studied the Bible, this guy humbles me. This guy knows. Like, you can smell when someone knows more than you, and when you meet that someone, if you're wise, you just sit back and listen. I felt that guy knew way more than me about these things. I'm just gonna lay back and let him talk. So this guy knows. So if you want to find someone that have very interesting knowledge, go and check this guy out. Go follow him. And Phoenix here did a great job of putting his links on our on the chat here, so you can find it. If someone can do me a favor also and put his name once we finish the live video, go and put the name also in the comments, because I think sometimes it's not very easy to find the live comments. Not everybody can do it very easily. But I want to thank you so much. I also want to remind everybody, don't forget to do the like, share, subscribe, the whole shebang. Go and check my Patreon if you want to find direct ways to support my channel financially on a monthly basis, so I can keep doing these videos for you. It is getting late, and this has been 2 hours and 51 minutes. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. Much appreciated, guys. Stay safe. God bless. Don't do anything stupid. See you next time.